everybody, welcome to Mark Goldbridge. That's football. We're live. It's the Merseyside derby. It's Liverpool against Everton. It's a very big game. And look, I think in the context of the top four race, I said this only a few short hours ago about Chelsea's visit to Southampton. There are big connotations in relation to how this will impact on the top four. Chelsea dropping a couple of points means that, well, dropping 2 points with the draw means that if Liverpool were to win today, they would go level with Chelsea in fourth place. Obviously, Manchester United, Spurs, Leicester, who else? West Ham and Aston Villa all playing tomorrow, but Everton and Liverpool will have very similar aspirations about getting into the top four. So it's a huge game. And it's one that I am really looking forward to. Hope you are as well. Just Saturday night football in the Premier League with a bit of bite to it. I think what I like most about a game like this is that you're going to get a bite to it. You're going to get we're going to get a Saturday night bite to eat, aren't we? Hopefully, there will be tasty tackles in there. There will be moments. I mean, remember the game back in. Well, there's a bit of a grudge. I mean, Ewan Black says got 0-0 written all over it. I don't pretend to know the ins and outs of the rivalry between Liverpool and Everton, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the game where Van Dijk got the bad injury and they felt that they should have maybe got a sending off and everything like that? So I think this is, Pickford and Van Dijk, this is where Van Dijk got the injury, isn't it? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Please do correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I am. So, score predictions, says Andrew Robertson. I do think Liverpool will win. I mean, we're going to go straight into the team news, actually, because I do think that Liverpool are going to win this game. Then again, I did say at lunchtime that I fancied Chelsea to beat Southampton. So what do I know? But let's just go straight into team news. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. We're going to try and get to 328,000 today. I pity the fool. I pity the fool who watched Burnley against West Brom 0-0. What a bag of shite that was. I didn't watch it, but I can tell you that without watching it. But Liverpool against Everton. Let's go through the team news. Alisson in goal. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Kabak starts his third game in a row. Obviously, they're trusting in this lad. I think Kabak looks all right. I mean, Kabak was a player that we weren't looking at, but United were linked to him. I quite like the look of him so far. Henderson plays at the back with Robertson, Thiago, Wijnaldum and Jones, Salah, Firmino and Mane. I think that's the same team he's picked for 3 games in a row. Keita's back. He's on the bench. Anybody else on the bench of notes? Not really, Shaqiri. But Keita's back for Liverpool, which helps them out a little bit. And then Everton. Pickford in goal. Coleman, Holgate, Keane and Godfrey is the back four. Obviously, Yerry Mina went off injured against Man City the other day. A midfield 5 of Rodriguez, Doucouré, Davies, Andre Gomez and Digne. And Richarlison up front. Calvert-Lewin's on the bench, as is Alan and Sigurdsson and Iwobi. So he's not gone and risked Calvert-Lewin, which I think massively hinders the chances of Everton tonight. I think they're a very, very defensive side. Digne playing as a sort of left winger. Rodriguez playing off the right. Doucouré, Davies and Gomez with Richarlison. I mean, they have got the option of bringing Calvert-Lewin on, which I think helps. But I think anybody talking about a lot of goals, that Everton team doesn't look like it's got a lot of goals in it as far as I'm concerned. But maybe I'm wrong. Mark, we'll go down fighting against City tomorrow, unlike United, Sheffield United, Everton, says Zayn Miasi. Mate, you're a mid-table club with mid-table matters. And you're going to lose tomorrow. So, just letting you know. Enjoy your Saturday night. Maybe get yourself a nice takeaway. Watch a nice film. Because tomorrow, the only film you're watching is Mid-Table Matters. The Nightmare. The Nightmare continues. Okay. Fred is better than Basuma. He can do everything. He's underrated, says Nepali boy. Not really interested in Fred tonight, to be honest with you. What team do you think Mbappe will go to in the summer? Says Josh. I think the hint out of PSG is that potentially he's going to stay at PSG, just like Neymar. So, you never know with PSG. They might keep Neymar, they might keep Mbappe and add somebody like a Paul Pogba. You just don't know how they're going to work out. Arsenal will give Man City a go. I can't see how. I really don't. Arsenal are pretty, they're not at that level. But you never know. They did beat them last year. And fair play to Arsenal. I'd love Arsenal to win tomorrow. I really would, but I can't see it happening. I really can't, but I would love to. I'd love to see it happening. Okay. Which player would you take from each club? Now, we did this at lunchtime for Chelsea against Southampton. Man United fan me. We need, I said I'd take Danny Ings as a backup striker from Southampton, and I'd take Kovacic in the midfield from Chelsea. If I was taking a player from each of these teams, considering Van Dijk is injured, so I can't take him, and so is Fabinho. From these two, from the Liverpool side, at the moment, I wouldn't take any centre-back and I wouldn't take any of their midfield. I don't really think, I don't mind Thiago, I don't mind Wijnaldum, but for me, it would be Mo Salah. We need a right winger, so I would take Salah. From Everton, from that starting lineup, it's difficult, It really is difficult. We don't need a left-back, so I'm not going to take Digne. Coleman's not really a right-back that we need. Their centre-backs I don't really rate. I don't rate their goalkeeper. I don't really rate their midfield three of Davies and Corre and Andre Gomez. And when I say I don't rate them, it doesn't mean they're not good players. It's just I don't see them as better than what we've got. So it would have to be James Rodriguez or Richarlison for me. I think it would be James Rodriguez. James Rodriguez and Salah would be the two players I would take out of both of those teams today. If Everton had Calvert-Lewin playing, I'd take Calvert-Lewin. And if they had Yerry Mina playing, I'd actually consider taking Yerry Mina as well. But and if Alan was playing, I'd consider taking Alan. So that just shows you, for me, Everton have got three of their best players not starting. And no, it would never be Josh King. But no, I've gone from the starting 11s there. So my score prediction for this game is I'm going to go Liverpool to win 2-0. I'm excited about this one. Proper excited. I love a derby. I like watching the North London derby. I like watching Celtic Rangers. I'll hope to catch a bit of Milan Inter tomorrow, but I think it's on at the same time as United. So I'm excited about this one. And look, the ideal result for me would be a draw. If you look at the context of the league table and what I'm talking about, Man United at the moment got 46 points. Liverpool are 6 points behind us. Everton are potentially 6 points behind us if they win their game in hand. So ideally, from a top four for Manchester United point of view, a draw would be a good result for us. And again, tomorrow, Villa and Leicester would be a good draw, and Tottenham and Wolves would be a good draw. But I don't think we're going to get three more draws after Chelsea and Southampton, and then a United win against Newcastle. But yeah, this is the game. This is the game where the passion will thrive. This is the game where they lost Van Dijk. Very excited about this one, I do think that Liverpool will win. But I was wrong at lunchtime. I have known to be wrong, and I might be wrong about this one. Get your score predictions in, please. Remember, if you want to do a super chat, you can do that through the $sign. We'll read those out. Thank you very much if you so wish. So, Zane's back in the house. We've got a chance against City, Mark. We outplayed you in both games. You are higher because of Bruno. Your goalie and attack is not better than ours. Mate, you're talking in a mirror, trying to convince yourself, and you're still not convincing yourself. So keep talking, because that super chat is the biggest load of crap I've read today. Mark, why can't I ever say Shaqiri's name once? Shaqiri, Gavin Blake. I know I do it all the time. Shakira. Okay. It's very early days for Kabak, but I think he looks okay. And I think he's definitely helped Liverpool. And I thought the other night he played really, really well. Apparently Garner's just played really well again. For them. For Forest, they've won 1-0. I've got friends who support Forest, you see, so they can't stop messaging me about Jimmy Garner, who's on loan from Man United. They're so happy with him. Mark, what are your thoughts on Pedro Neto? Good player, Ben Phillips. And I've put a bet on Richarlison red card today. Predictions for tomorrow's game, says Bijou. I think a bet on a red card today is not a bad shout, is it? I mean, let's have a little bit of fun in the live comments. If somebody's going to get a red card today, who is it going to be? And I will try in the live comments to see who most people say. Jaden says, is it Jimmy Garner or James Garner? I think go with whatever you like. It is, I know from sort of conversations I've seen people have with him that they call him Jimmy, but I don't know what he prefers really. Thiago's a good shout by Siddharth, actually. That's not a bad shout. Richarlison, He's a diver as well. I think Thiago for Liverpool's probably the best shout, and Richarlison as well is probably not a bad shout as well for Everton. But you know what? I'm gonna be a little bit more out there. I'm gonna go for an English lad. I'm gonna say Davies from Everton, because every time I see him play, he always puts in a nasty tackle, which ain't necessarily a bad thing. But I think that Davies is going to be my tip. So vast majority of the live comments are saying Richarlison for Everton and Thiago for Liverpool. I'm going to say Davies. So let's see. I mean, there are different ones. A couple of people have said Digne. A few people have said Pickford, Alisson. No one said Kabak, actually, which is interesting, because, you know, you think centre-backs. Ben Godfrey, after he said something at United, says Conor Griffiths. Can you finally admit, after saying, you guys, bye-bye, Kirit, bye-bye. Capital letters will not get read out anyway. Mark, how many times do you think Thiago will do the no-look pass today? I like it. I like that one as well. I'm going to go with 3. I don't know how, you know, I'm sure Liverpool fans could tell us, on average, how many times does Thiago do a no-look pass? I don't know. Do not know. Okay. Censoring critics? No, not really. It's just getting rid of abuse. It's welcome to social media. People think they can write what they like, and they can't. If you don't enjoy the content and you want to be a twat, piss off. You know, it's as simple as that, isn't it? It's not. I think some people on social media think it's freedom of speech to be abusive. It's not. We don't live in that world. Unfortunately, Twitter and Instagram sometimes let it happen. But there are controls in place on social media to remove these idiots, and you will be removed if you're an idiot. And if you know that's not what we do the watch-alongs and have the chat and have the interaction. It's not a free-for-all to be a twat, is it? So no, it's not about censoring people. It's about removing abuse. Can I get a moment of raging and I'll sub, says Bert. I don't think I'm going to be raging today. Having said that, famous last words. There are sometimes VAR moments, as we know, and things like that. I reckon a 4-4 draw for the neutrals. I'd love a 4-4 draw, Boba Fett, but I don't think so. I don't think we'll get that. I don't. But look, I don't think that Everton team looks like it's got a lot of goals in it. But Calvert-Lewin is on the bench. Alan is on the bench, so they can go a little bit more attacking if they need to. Who do you want to win, Mark? Says Amuanuel. I actually want to draw today. I know their head says that you should always. Well, actually, you know what? The draw's the one I would like, and then the Everton win. But you know, as a Man United fan, you should always want Liverpool to lose, and as a Liverpool fan, you always want United to lose. But I think in the context of top 4, a draw's not a terrible result. Having said that. There is also an opportunity that you always want Liverpool to drop points, because if Liverpool were to lose today and United win tomorrow, we go 9 points clear of Liverpool, which is a big gap. I'm a full Pool fan and don't rate Genie. Klopp's fave, says DBX. You see, I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I do value what Wijnaldum brings to your team. I think he reminds me a lot of sort of like what Ander Herrera's does, or Ander Herrera used to do for Manchester United. So yeah, you know, very, very, very hopeful. But I do, you know, my prediction is Liverpool will win. I wouldn't mind a draw or a Liverpool loss. And Mark, there is a story on ESPN that we're interested in Valverde from Real Madrid for Pogba. Is there any chance of that? And what do you think? Well, Brad, I am doing a show tonight, so I will do some research on that. I would say as an initial yes and no. I'm still waiting, and this can be for Liverpool, Everton, Chelsea, Arsenal, still waiting for what Fabrizio Romano said to me on the United Stand nearly a year ago, that swap deals are going to be the thing. And it makes sense that swap deals are the thing, because when you look at the world that we live in, financially, clubs don't necessarily have a lot of money. So if you swap players, that opens up money, doesn't it? It opens up situations. So, you know, there might well be money available in that availablmoney.com. But no, there might well be money available less this summer, but there might well be opportunities to do swap deals. And look, Manchester United have got Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba is a player that will, you know, definitely look to leave in the summer if he can find a deal. And Juventus have offered a lot of players for Man United apparently, but it's the right player, isn't it? So we'll have to see Brad on that one, but I'll certainly have a look at it. Mate, did you see Pep said we're in a false position and should be much higher? You can't argue with him when you see how well he's doing, says Zane. I can argue with anybody, me. You're not in a false position in the Premier League, Zane. You're not in a false position. We've all played. You're in a false position when you've played 3 games at the start of the season, you've had a VAR incident, you've had a man sent off unjustly, and you've got 1 point from 9. That's a false position. You're not in a false position after 20-something games. You're not. We're over halfway through the season. You're not in a false position. You are in mid-table because that's where you deserve to be. Should Arsenal be doing better than mid-table? Yes. And maybe they will with Arteta, but you can't argue in a false position when you've played 20-something games. 24 games you've played. You're not in a false position. Who do you think we will sign in the summer? Says Leo. Depends who we is. Who's we? Bye, Patrick. Pratt. And Martial and bit of cash for Haaland. Thoughts it could happen? No. I don't. I'm not sure that Dortmund are a club that want to do swap deals. And the reason I would say that is because Dortmund like money. They like to buy. They like to buy cheap and sell high. So I don't think that Dortmund would be looking to do swap deals for Haaland or Sancho. I think Dortmund's investment strategy with Sancho and Haaland was buy cheap, sell high. So I think they will want money. Which 3 teams would you want gone from the Premier League, says Jack Humphrey? Probably the 3 that are there at the moment. West Brom, Fulham and Sheffield United. Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily... I used to think Brighton, but I like the way that Brighton play. Who do you think United will sign in the summer, says Leo? I haven't got it. I don't know. I don't think you can ever be sure with Man United. I don't. You can never be sure we're going to win. I certainly can't be sure what player we're going to sign. Mark, I wouldn't want Burnley to get relegated, to be honest with you. There's something... I have an affection for Burnley in an odd way. And Man City are going to win the league, says Hassan. The most obvious statement of the day, but thank you very much. Joke for you, Mark. Zayn Miassi, says Owen Pitts. And do Everton not have a better keeper than Pickford, says Sick Ned. He's rated by Southgate and he's rated by Ancelotti. I mean, maybe, I don't watch Everton every week. Maybe Pickford's not as bad as I think he is. Mark, it's my birthday today. I love your channel, mate, and hope you're doing well. Have you ever been to Donegal, says Aaron Gallagher. Well, happy birthday, Aaron, first of all. I don't know whether I have been to Donegal. I've certainly heard of it, but I don't think I have been there. What do you think about the rumours that Mbappe to Liverpool, says Harry Laverick? Well, look, if Mbappe does leave PSG, I think anything is possible. I wouldn't normally say that Liverpool could get Mbappe, but he's got 1 year left on his contract. So all this talk of 150 million, 200 million, forget about it. He's got 1 year left on his contract. PSG will have to sell. They won't be able to demand 200 million. So, maybe Liverpool could do a deal with a year left on his contract. But I don't know why people aren't talking about Mbappe and Chelsea, because Chelsea are always the team, I think. You think about a year ago, no one would have been talking about Werner to Chelsea or Havertz to Chelsea. They were talking about Werner to Liverpool. They were talking about Havertz to Real Madrid or Bayern Munich. COVID hits. Everyone loses out on money apart from Chelsea. You go, yeah, we'll have you. Yeah, we'll have you. I don't think Chelsea are going to be in a different situation this summer. I think they've got money to spend. And I think if there are deals to be done, they can do deals probably easier than a Real Madrid or a Liverpool at the moment. Do you think Woodward and Co are just happy being in the race rather than wanting to win it, says ARM Square? I think they're happy making money. Yeah. Mbappe did have trials at Chelsea, says Jack's CFC. I wasn't aware of that. And he'll go to Madrid, says Gervas. Yeah, but have Madrid got the money to do it? I don't know. I don't know whether Madrid have got the money to do it. But maybe Madrid could do some sort of swap deal with it. So we're 12 minutes out from kickoff. Please smash a like on the video. We're nearly at 1,000 likes. And subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We're trying to get up to 328k today. Don't want to talk about that. Thank you. That's good. And Madrid are in massive debt at the moment, says Josh Newcomb. Well, I haven't seen many people talking about their score predictions. I've gone 2-0 to Liverpool in this one. And should Dominic Calvert-Lewin be starting, says Lucas Barkley. Well, I think Everton would start him if he was fully fit. He's clearly not fully fit. And Mark McKenna says, if Dortmund miss out on Champions League, surely Raiola will look to move Haaland on. I don't think they will miss out on Champions League, but you do have a point. A lot of people saying 2-1 to Everton. Charlie Curtis, Harry Rates, 1-1 says Marcasino. 2-1 Everton says Sir Fred. Dylan Howarth says 2-1 Liverpool. 1-1 says Jevon. 2-1 Everton. Says Rage Guy. Johnny Sins with a penetrating pass. There's a lot of people obsessed with Johnny Sins, and having found out who he was because he kept coming up in the live chat, not literally, that would be hideous, it amazes me how many of you are obsessed with Johnny Sins. You mention him more than you mention the women ones. 2-1 Liverpool says Seb Williams. 3-0 Liverpool says Josh Newcomb. 5-0 Everton says Akshat. No chance. And Liverpool 3, Everton 0 says Hiltro. So quite a range of scores. I think Liverpool have turned a corner. Maybe some people are thinking of Liverpool as the team that played recently and dropped a lot of points recently. But I do think that Everton have turned a corner. So we will see how it goes today. But I was impressed. We did a watch along on here on, was it Tuesday night? When Liverpool played, no, it was Wednesday night when Liverpool played Leipzig. Of course, that could be a factor. Everton have had a week off. Liverpool haven't. Liverpool, I think, have picked the same team that they did last Saturday, on Wednesday and today. So 3 games in 7 days for them. That could be a factor. Of course, it could. But I think that they might be all right. I think they might be all right in this one today. I just had a message there to say that there'd been a change in the team, but there hasn't. Thoughts on Zerka reacting to you, Sidemen, says Marshall. Haven't watched all of it, but I've seen bits of it. It's always nice when, you know, somebody that big talks about you. So, yeah, interested by that one, definitely. And, you know, it's always good to get critiqued in a constructive way, I suppose. Okay, and if you don't support United, who would you support, says Jonathan Bazina. I've been asked this one before. I think if I hadn't supported United, I probably would have supported Spurs or Everton. I remember I quite liked Everton, and I quite liked Spurs as a very young lad. So yeah, I think it would have been one of those, to be honest. What about you? Who would you have supported if you didn't support the club that you support? Do you think? And did you just chuckle when Zerka reacted to you, says Krishna? I haven't watched all of it yet, but I've seen bits of it. He's very smiley, isn't he? Seems like a nice lad. Mark, apparently Man United want to buy Keane. What's your opinion on this? Says England Fans TV. Well, I haven't seen it anywhere. So, you know, I think when you have something like that, then you really should have a source for it. But like, I think Man City would like to buy Harry Kane, wouldn't they? I think a lot of people would like to buy Harry Kane. But I don't think that that's going to happen because I don't think that they've got the funds to do that. I don't think anyone's got the funds to do that. So it's very difficult, isn't it, to do that? End it there. Mark, your thoughts on Tuchel comments on Odoi, says Joseph Teagle. So, yeah, I mean, just very, very quickly, we'll talk about this game, but we did do a watch-along at lunchtime, Chelsea against Southampton. Hudson-Odoi came on at half-time, was taken off with 15 minutes to go. Some people were trying to say it's a knock. I said I don't think it is a knock. It doesn't look like a knock to me. So, it was basically about how his attitude basically wasn't right, which it's interesting because I didn't pick up on that, and I'm not a Chelsea fan, but I didn't pick up on that from the coach at all. So from Hudson-Odoi, and I actually think the substitutions of Ziyech and Jorginho for Kovacic and Hudson-Odoi actually made Chelsea less threatening in the last 15 minutes, and I felt that Southampton came into the game a little bit more. So, you know, interesting. Did you see the Luke Shaw interview where he said Bailly makes everyone else better? Says Sam Axel. I haven't seen that. I mean, I will take a note of that. I will try and find that because I think it's interesting, that one. Very interesting. Mark, who would you have in your team, Haaland or Mbappe? Getting asked a lot of this at the moment, and for me, it would always be Mbappe. I do like Haaland, but it would be Mbappe. I think he's a fantastic player. Mark, watch it back. Dan James tried a far post pass to Diallo. His goal was a fluke. This is fatal generation. I almost don't want to watch that back because I feel it's a bit harsh on Dan James. You know, he scored a goal. He got an assist. People are trying to say his assist was luck. People are trying to say his goal was luck, and I think sometimes you've just got to want the best for somebody, and you've got to want them to do well. And I think he's I don't think his future at Manchester United is there. But did you catch the Ollie interview when he said he listens to Maguire while deciding tactics before a game? No, Addy, that terrifies me, to be honest with you. So I don't know what that's all about. Referee says it definitely was a cross. It went through his legs. Do you not have a Luke Shaw media alert on your phone, Mark? I'm surprised, says Robert Labsley. If you know, you know. Please smash a like on the video if you're watching, by the way, and share. We're trying to get up to 328,000 today. We're hoping to get a cracking London derby, a cracking Merseyside derby. I'm expecting Van Dijk's there. Oh, Pickford, it's all going off. Oh my God, he's injured his other knee. I'm only joking. Imagine that. It'd be like wrestling. Imagine that. Pickford comes up behind Van Dijk and bangs him with a chair. And Van Dijk's like, oh, he's all over the place. And then Kabak runs in and it all kicks off. I think football wrestling would be very good. A Royal Rumble where one player from each team comes out every 2 minutes. I'd love to see a Premier League Royal Rumble. But I think hopefully we're going to see some tasty tackles. One thing about Tom Davies, he will put a tackle in. Joseph Tyrrell, thanks for the super chat there. And Ryan. The Liverpool versus Everton. Van Dijk, do you think Barca could come back against PSG? Says Krishna. No, I don't. And Mark, you saw me in Tesco last week. You didn't, Uzi. I've not been in Tesco for about a year. So it definitely wasn't me. I don't think I've been in a supermarket for... Last supermarket I was in was M&S about 6 weeks ago. So no, you haven't seen me in Tesco. Not that I don't shop at Tesco, I just haven't done it. I've been click and collecting. Kabak could karate kick at Pickford. Players are coming out onto the pitch anyway. Would you take transfer swap between Ronaldo and Pogba? Says FU. Yes. And can't wait for Chelsea versus Atletico, Mark, says Zach Evans. We will be doing a watch along for that on Tuesday night. I'm looking forward to that as well. I think it's Premier League against La Liga. Top of La Liga against 4th place Premier League. I'm predicting right here, right now, Chelsea are going to win that game. And I'm going to be in the minority. But I think that the Premier League is better than the Champions League. So, sorry, I don't think Chelsea are better than the Champions League. I think the Premier League is better than La Liga. And I think it's going to be a real eye-opener on Tuesday. So I'm really looking forward to that watch-along. Because I think I'm going to be proved right. I think everyone's going to go, oh my God, the Premier League is still the best, because apart from Bayern Munich, who don't really represent the Bundesliga, they do, but they're not really a representation of the Bundesliga, even though they are. But you know what I mean? Like, Bayern Munich have the second best team in Germany isn't fit to lace the boots of Bayern Munich. It's a total... Basically, you know what Bayern Munich is like? It's like a pack of lions, right? And the lions go out every day and they catch a zebra. And they basically go to the lion that's called Bayern Munich and say, eat as much as you want. We'll just eat the scraps. And then what you end up with is every day, you know, Leipzig the lion, Leverkusen the lion, they're all out catching zebras, whilst Bayern the lion is just Bayern the lion. He's lying there, you know, muscly, doing weights, massive. They come in with the zebra, they say, there you go, we've got 2 today, eat as much as you can. They eat the scraps. Bayern Munich do represent the Bundesliga, but they're almost like a Bundesliga all-star, because all the teams below them basically feed Bayern, and then Bayern become this great, what they are, the best team in the world. But they're not really a representation of the Bundesliga, because you watch when Man City play Mönchengladbach on Wednesday, they'll batter them. So Bayern Munich, for me at the moment, they're in an atmosphere of themselves. But I think the best league, team for team, is the Premier League, and I think that's going to get proven on Tuesday. So we'll see. Apparently Bayern lost today, Ryan Clark. They didn't get a zebra. They're on strike. Leverkusen, the Lions, pulling rank. Anyway, we're really close to kick-off. Looking forward to this. Please smash the like on video. Subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. I've got a feeling this is going to be a good game. I got the feeling. Yeah. I got the feeling. Give me that feeling. I got the feeling. Yeah. I don't know what that's. I probably just made that up. Van Dijk. How many times do you think they're going to go to Van Dijk throughout this stream? This video? Twice already. I'm going for double figures. Definitely double figures. So, yeah. I think that's what we're going to see happening. So, about ready to kick off here. Just need them to take the knee. I wonder how long that taking the knee is going to last for, you know. They don't do it in the Champions League or the Europa League. Apparently some clubs in the Championship are not doing it as well. We're 200 subscribers away from 328,000, so please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Everybody's welcome on this channel. Lots of different teams, lots of different watch-alongs. That's what we do. We just go for those sort of games that... it's like a rugby kick-off from Everton here, and they've won a corner. Kabak shit himself. Well, that's a very effective start by Everton. I don't know what Kabak was doing. It was like a big kick, long rugby kick, and then Kabak, under no pressure, heads it out for a corner. Also, love you going for Goldbridge series, making me lock down so much better, says FU. Thanks, Mark. You should really get a Netflix show. Have a good weekend. I would love my Goldbridge at Home series to be on Netflix, but let's be real, it's not going to happen. Making a scoreline bet on the Liverpool game, Mark. What do you think we can go? 50-50 on the winning, says Limitation Designs. Ooh, just wide from the corner there. Godfrey, was it? Yeah. Cross comes in. I think he chested it wide. Oh, the timer has started. I've just not put it on the screen. There you go. 50 seconds in. So we're up and running here. 2-0 I've gone for Liverpool, but I hope they don't win. I'd like a draw or a Liverpool loss from a Manchester United perspective. That's not going to be a surprise for anybody. You've got to pump it up. This is not a gun. This is not a gun. It's one of them, really. You put it in your hand and you do that, and it's so I've got strong wrists. Nah, no, I don't do that anymore. Got someone to do it for me. But what do you think a French centre back? Yes, cheese sandwich. You're not going to catch me out. I tell you, I'm not Robbie. I tell you, Mark Scooby Doo says Gaming Overlord. Space Ghetto. Say Space Ghetto, I'm nicked this, but say Space Ghetto in an American accent and it sounds like a really harsh Scottish accent saying Spice Girl. So Space Ghetto, say it American, Space Ghetto, and it sounds like I'm going Spice Girl in Scottish. Anyway, enough of that. If you want, I've also kept the page up from what we were talking about at lunchtime. We were talking about Cockney rhyming slang. Loop the loop. Do you want a bowl of loop the loop? Soup. Lend me a merry-go-round, pound. Near and far, bar. It's your round. Oh, he's in. Richarlison. It's 1-0 to Everton. Is he onside? They're having a look. Is he going to do the chicken? No. The goal has stood at the moment. What are Liverpool doing? I've given them the Goldbridge jinx, and it's worked within the first 2 minutes. He springs the offside trap. He's through one-on-one. Does he spring the offside trap? He's off there. He's on. He's well on. He's definitely on. Gets in behind. I tell you what. I've absolutely done Kabak up like a cabbage. Kabak the cabbage, really, because I said he looked quite good. He's played Carlison on, and it's 1-0 to Everton already. That is not the start I expected, but it's certainly the start we wanted in a game of this. You always want the underdog to score first. Because as a neutral, you always want the underdog to score first. I'm not really a neutral either. But it's Richarlison. 1-0. Not a hint of offside. Let's put a tweet out. How is Kabak awful after one moment, clowns? No, to be fair, I think Kabak looked quite good against Leipzig. He's just been caught there. As a defender, That's a bloody nightmare what's happened. He's just got caught on his toes, and the timing of the run. If Richarlison times that a metre slower or a metre faster, he's offside if he does it a metre faster. You're going to catch him if he does it a metre slower. It's absolutely brilliant timing of the run by Richarlison, and 1-0. Is it Richarlison or is it Richarlison? Is it Rich like Richie Rich? Is it Carl like Carl Fogarty? Richarlison or Richarlison? Let me know. But I told you this was going to be a good game. Gets it going on a Saturday night. Saturday night dance. I like the way you... I'm a bit like Richarlison. I hate that. I absolutely hate that celebration. Somebody did it on FIFA yesterday when I was playing Ultimate Team, and I'm trying to control my player to run and slide tackle them, but you can't do it. United should buy Weston McKennie from Juventus, says Ivan Shafar. And nice assist from Rodriguez. He will want out after a good season there. Apparently he wants to go back to Spain anyway because it's too cold. It's Richarlison. There we go. I'll get that right from now on. I'm trying to learn these names. Hi Mark, thoughts on Ollie's criticism, says Lucas. I don't know where this Ollie criticism is coming from, but if you can tell me about it, I'll talk about it on the 8 o'clock show tonight on the United Stand. I'm very interested to know. I'm always interested in that. Well, Scooby-Doo, it's 1-0 to Everton. Everton have always had good Scottish connections, haven't they, actually? I don't know whether they've got any Scottish players now, but they always did have quite good connections, Everton. Certainly with Rangers as well, but Scottish, they used to have quite a few Scottish players. Funny how I can't think of one now. Duncan Ferguson, of course, and he's still there. Scooby-Doo! He speaks like that. Scooby-Doo. Will you be doing watch-alongs for the Euros, says Max? Yeah, long way off, but yeah, that's if they go ahead. I think they will. Robertson plays for Liverpool, Noah, not Everton. What was that striker who used to play for Everton? Was it Jelavic? I always used to put him in my fancy Premier League team years ago. What happened to... Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Jelavic, yo. I don't know. Was that his name? Would you consider Liverpool not finishing in the top 4 a bigger failure than Arsenal not finishing in a European place, says SOCOM? Yeah, I think it would be a bigger shock. I think we expect Arsenal to banter themselves, don't we? I would not have... If you'd said to me at the start of the season, Liverpool won't finish in the top 4, I would have said, take your face for a shit. You're having a laugh. You know, you are actually pooing out your mouth. You are talking crap. But I do think Liverpool will finish in the top 4. But as a fan of a club who is in the top 4 at the moment, the more Liverpool lose, the better. Because the less, the bigger gap you've got between yourself and Liverpool, the more successful you're going to be. And that can be, that's what I think. So I think Liverpool will finish in the top 4. But it might get to a point where Liverpool have got to win the Champions League. But this is a great first goal for Everton because they know they're going to have to defend a lot in this game. They know that they're going to have to hit on the break a lot in this game. And I think that it will really, really give them something now. Will this make it 4 losses in a row at Anfield for Liverpool, says Luke Stevens. I think it is in the league, yeah. I think it would be... I'm tempted to say something here that I need some clarity on. Yeah, if Liverpool lose this, it's their 4th loss in a row in the Premier League, let alone in the at Anfield. So, did Liverpool win? I know they lost to Burnley, they lost to Brighton, they've lost to Man City, but have they won any games at home this season? They've lost to Leicester, Man City and Brighton in their last 3 games in the league. They did beat West Ham and they did beat Spurs, but they were away. So this would be their 4th Premier League loss at Anfield in a row, yes. And their 4th Premier League loss in a row. So they haven't, the last time they won at Anfield was in the league was in 2020. So it's not good. Good run by Mane, punched up by Pickford. Dortmund may not make the Champions League. How much of a difference will that make in the cost of Sancho and Haaland, says Russian Nightmare? I don't think they need to sell both, but they would, they would have to let one go. And what's something that doesn't really smell great, but you keep wanting to smell it anyway, says Fraser Burt. Oh, God, that's going to put people off their dinner. That'll put people off their dinner. Over 11,000 watching. Thank you. Please share the video and subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. We're trying to get up to 328k tonight. So thanks everyone for tuning in. This is looking like a really good game. Callum says he's loving it so far. Thanks everyone who's getting involved in the chat. Yeah, it is. It's looking like a good game so far. Liverpool are going to have to go for it. Everton can hit on the break and organise themselves. And suddenly, the way Everton have played, Calvert-Lewin's on the bench, Allen's on the bench, they're probably not quite fit. They're playing a 4-5-1. Richarlison really is the only attacking outlet. James Rodriguez playing slightly off him. They're basically sort of playing a 5-3-1-1 at the moment, with Gomez to the left, Davies in the middle and Decore. But that, you know, the 1-0 goal for them is perfect because they thought they were going to be doing this from 0-0 and now they're 1-0. That's gone out for a goal kick. Oh, he's given a corner. He's given a corner. It flicked off Digne's head. Mark, big up that guy, jokes. He doesn't need bigging up. He's huge on Instagram, Ben. He's absolutely bloody huge. But they are funny. Do you sniff toenails? No, I don't have any bloody odd fetishes like that. What's for tea? Oh, I've got an Italian meal tonight from Maroots. No, I'm not really Italian, but I have got an Italian meal tonight. Thoughts on Peter Rabbit? Piss off. It wasn't lost on me yesterday, though. I don't know whether people got the joke on the vlog when I was saying he's such a show-off going around in a blue coat, and I was wearing a blue coat. So if you got the joke, fair play. And what did you get for lunch, Mark? Says Advath. Porridge. People think I'm weird, but I like a good bowl of porridge because it fills you up and I like it. So, you know, people can say they don't... You know, I had porridge for lunch. People might say, well, you know, that's a boring lunch. I don't think so. I like it. You know, I was very happy with the bowl of porridge. So, you know. Do you have... But I had... the reason... I sort of got it the wrong way around because for breakfast this morning, we had toast with mushrooms on the top, which was really nice. So I could have swapped it around, really. So, but I don't care. I was one of those people who used to get in from school all those years ago. And... I used to eat loads as a kid because I used to be out playing all the time. People, if you said that to a youngster now, what's out playing? They probably think it's something sinister or suspicious. It's not. It was actually going out and playing with your mates, and not like that. I mean, like playing football or army or, you know, trackers or something like that. So I used to burn up a lot of energy. So I used to eat a lot, and I used to get in from school and I'd have a bowl of Ready Brek, and then I'd tip cornflakes in, mix it all up, and I used to put loads of sugar in as well. Just energy, man. Energy. Kilojoules. Do you rate Tamori? Says Road to Dawn. I did. I can't say I'm following his career much at the moment, but Everton pressing quite well here at the moment, and Liverpool struggling to get a foothold in the game. I just saw a question there. Do you think Liverpool's balloon has burst? Well, I think it has this season, definitely. I mean, only an idiot's going to say that. But I do think that when they get Van Dijk back, then they will be okay. I think they'll get back. I think he's a massive player. I've said this a few times and I'll say it again. In the 97... Oh, wait a minute. Richarlison's in the box again. Richarlison, sorry. Davies wins it. Andre Gomez. In the 97-98 season, Roy Keane did his knee badly against Leeds and was out for the season. And United went from being a team that was looking like it was going to win the league to a team that just fell away, and Arsenal won the double. If you lose a leader and a player of that quality from your team, even though it's only one player, it can make a huge difference. Imagine Man United if they didn't have Bruno. So look, all right, Van Dijk's a centre-back, but he has a huge, huge presence and influence on that Liverpool side. And I think without him has probably cost them 20 points. So over the season, I think it'll cost them about 20 points, maybe more. So when Liverpool get Van Dijk back, they'll be a better team again. Simple as that. Please watch Inter versus AC Milan, says Path. What time's it kicking off? I think it kicks off at the same time United are playing Newcastle, so I've got to do United Newcastle tomorrow. Joshua Bowerwater, had my chip butty earlier, Mark, in a tiger roll with heaps of butter, cheese and gravy. Oh my God, a tiger roll as well. Oh, Joshua, that is salivating. Oh, that is just superb. Hi Mark, hope all is well. What's your opinion on the new ball design and what do you think are England's chances this Euros? Says Stephen. I think if England get to the semi-finals, that's what I would expect. I think that would be a good thing for England to get top 4 in Euros. As for the ball, I haven't really seen it. It's moving too fast. Went on Redmen TV for the bant and got banned for saying Klopp out. Bunch on ball ends. Can't take the banter, says Lewis Smith. I'm having pizza tonight. Bada bing, bada boom, says Felix. Saturday night. Steak and chips. Chinese, Indian, fish and chips. Pizza. Kebab and chips. Bring it on. Bring it on. Godfrey's a great player, isn't he? Well, I haven't got a lot of love for Godfrey because when they scored the equaliser at Old Trafford, he turned around and went F off, and it just pissed me off. How do you rate Jordan Henderson? I think he's a very important player for Liverpool when he plays in the midfield. Of course, at the moment, he's not playing in the midfield, is he? He's playing in a different position altogether. We are 25 subscribers away from 328,000, so please subscribe, bottom right hand corner, get involved with the channel, and we're very, very close to that. So thanks everyone who is subscribing. Everybody's welcome on here. That's football. It's for everybody to get involved. Hi Mark, why do you think Ollie is so reluctant to play Van der Beek in the pivot, even though he has proved he can do it and do it well this season? Says Mike. Got no idea, Mike. Kabak, getting told off by the referee here. No, he says no more. It's like on FIFA when they go, you think you're getting a red and they go, no more. Foul on Rodriguez. Didn't really look to be much in it, to be honest. You once said you like Goodison Park. I do like Goodison Park. I always lose there on FIFA now, but I do like Goodison Park. I haven't seen all episodes of Not Going Out, Hosto, but I do quite enjoy it. It's a weird thing for me, but I do like that series. You know, the woman, here's something for you. If you know what Not Going Out is, it's a sitcom and it probably isn't your cup of tea, but the wife in Not Going Out, she is Donna from The Office. Now, if you've watched The Office, Donna is David Brent's friend's daughter who comes to stay with him and shags people in the office in season 1. So there you go. She looks a lot different now, but you can tell. Who do I think is going to win? Says Annoys. I don't think 1-0 to Everton will be how it finishes. I think there's lots of scope left in this game. But yeah, I think they do miss Jordan Henderson in the midfield as well. Without a shadow of a doubt, they do. But the problem Liverpool have got here is a very similar problem to what Southampton had against, what Chelsea had against Southampton at lunchtime, where creativity-wise, there's no way. Polar Bear says, I'm out to get you. Yeah, you better get swimming first then, aren't you? Better get yourself a boat. Is that a good McDonald's?
Yeah.
What do you call it? Where'd you get it from?
At the McDonald's.
Well done. Kabak is dreadful, says Bofton2603. I don't think he's dreadful. I think it's probably going to be a bit up and down. I remember when Vidic first came to the Premier League, and I'm not saying he's going to be anything like Vidic, but Salah gets it into Mane, and Mane, this could be a goal. Firmino shoots it wide, deflection. I hope he shot it wide, because if he didn't, that was a really... Oh, yeah, it's a corner, yeah. Yeah, but I think Liverpool's problem here up until this point is that they're playing a little bit like Chelsea against Southampton. Lots of the ball, but Everton are quite comfortable defensively. Corner comes in, headed away. You wouldn't expect Everton to be conceding many goals today from crosses. Here's a cross. Bang, goal. Oh, what a save. Henderson on the edge of the box volleys it, and Pickford tips it round the post. That I would have looked to right Pratt then, because I did say they won't be scoring many goals from cross. It's a lovely volley, actually. What a save. I've got to say, what a save by Pickford. It lands perfectly for Henderson. He sort of hits it like I would, outside of the foot, and it's fingertips from Pickford. A normal goalkeeper would have got a full hand on it, but because Pickford's arms aren't particularly long, but it's still a good save. Hi, Mark. I think you should do a Bundesliga team for your next career mode. For example, Dortmund, says Valentino. Thanks for the super chat. How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant, says Danny Riley. I actually did think that through. I've got no answer. That's a fantastic save by Pickford, really. Got to give him credit. Good shot by Henderson, and it's literally fingertips to tip it round the bar. The post. The post. I said the bar. I meant the post. I meant the post there, not the bar. Didn't mean the bar. Don't mention the bar at Anfield. We think about. We'll be thinking about Denver bar. Don't be mentioning the bar. Call it the post, not the bar. Trent goes wide. Oh, what a run by Robertson. I think he wants a penalty. It'd be very, very soft if he gave it. And he hasn't. Good. Lovely ball by Trent. And Robertson angles his run to get there in front of Coleman. And it would have been a very, very silly penalty if he'd given it. Mane. Liverpool sort of going through the phases here at the moment. Trent. Oh, and another shot. And I think it's another save by Pickford. Liverpool definitely moving through the gears here. They've started to rain down on you. They've started to rain down on Everton here. Trent with the shot. Good shot, good tip over. Hey Mark, I enjoy everything you do. Wish there was a channel like United stand for Chelsea. Obviously disappointed with the result today, but enjoyed muting the commentators and listening to you, says Graham Williams. Yeah, well, we're doing Chelsea Atletico Madrid on Tuesday. I'm glad you didn't win, actually, because I thought your momentum was looking really good. But obviously you play United next week, so... Are there any Mexican restaurants near you, says David? There will be, yeah. There's a sort of commercial chain called Las Iguanas, which I do like fajitas and all that, though. And here we go, headed away, Digne. Burritos are nice as well. There's a burrito van in Birmingham, brilliant. Right on the centre, I think it's St Philip's Square. Lovely, lovely. It's very windy, says Charles Surtis. I'm sure it's not you. Mark, have you ever roundhouse kicked your mum? Says Callum. Well, I couldn't do a roundhouse kick anyway, so. Man United win the Premier League or England win the World Cup? Man United win the Premier League. I'm not massively bothered about it. I will watch international football and I will get into international football, but when it's not the World Cup or the Euros, I couldn't give two shits about it, really. It's sort of a bubble, isn't it? Great tackle by Davies there into Gomez. 22 minutes gone. I think Everton are going to have to offer a little bit more than what they're doing at the moment, because they are just defending and they're going to have something to scare Liverpool with, because if they don't, and Thiago goes for a long ball there to Salah, you can see that Thiago's trying to quicken his game up as well. I think this is one thing I've noticed a lot of Liverpool fans saying, and we've said it as well on this channel, is that Thiago does slow down the tempo of Liverpool, and Liverpool are good when they play a high tempo. And I think we've seen in this game Thiago trying to up the tempo, not taking as much touches, etc. Geordie says his roof just fell off. I read it as your foot just fell off. How does that happen? And do you think this is the best young player? Who do you think is the best young player in the world outside the Premier League? Says Ethan Brown. Well, I don't really know, because I don't watch a hell of a lot of world football. Hi Mark, huge fan. I'm a neutral, but my bro's a Liverpool fan and loves you. This just goes to show that you're the best YouTuber out there. Just class, says Haggis Man. Thanks for the super chat, mate. They need to pressurise Liverpool so they can't comfortably attack. Is it? Exactly, yeah. Just going back to that point, I think the game is falling into a pattern here where Everton are not really offering anything on the attack, but Liverpool are dominating the possession. Not necessarily dominating, creating good chances. They've had a couple of shots from the edge of the box, but you can't do that for 90 minutes at Anfield when it's you've got to make. You've got to make Liverpool think, oh, they might catch us on the break. And I think at the moment, Everton aren't really offering that. Kabak goes back to Alisson there. Who scored for Everton, Ant-Man? It was Richarlison. Nice little pass assist by Rodriguez. We've not seen any tasty tackles going in yet. Foul on Henderson there, but nothing tasty. Why do you think Mount gets hated on so much? Makes no sense. He's a baller. I don't know. Will Haynes, I don't really understand who it is who's hating on Mason Mount, because I can't imagine it's Chelsea fans. And although I've been quite, I was quite critical of Mason Mount maybe at the start of the season, having watched him a lot this season, there's no doubt he's Chelsea's best player. He was brilliant again today. Oh, Henderson's gone down here. I don't know what he did. I think he might have just trod on his ankle a bit. Well, Liverpool fans will be concerned here, because if Henderson is in real problem, he's a massive player to lose. Phillips, is that Phillips for Everton? He's warming up. I don't think it's a hamstring injury. I think it's more like an ankle thing. But I couldn't tell if Decore trod on his ankle, in which case that's obvious. If it's not, then it might be a worrying injury, to be fair. Nearly 13,000 watching. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Please smash a like on the video and subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Everton 1-0 up here after 26 minutes. Henderson's down, and if there's no impact from Decore, this is a real concern. See if he can stand up. Yeah, I think he's all right. Do you think Lindelof will start for United tomorrow, says Finlay? Yeah. Well, it looks like it wasn't an impact injury for Henderson. He actually looks like he's trying to run it off a bit. It's one of those, isn't it? I mean, I think he's one of those sort of players who I want to play on, but medical advice might be you could do more damage than good. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Be a big start. Mark, let's masturbate on whole go. You, stroke lead judges, says Ben Child. I don't know who it is. Hi Mark, the Milan derby's at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Can you do a watch along? Love the content, says No Love FTW. Oh, right, okay. I'll have a think about that. Which Premier League club do you think is the best run at the moment, says Nemia? Well, it's Man City or Chelsea, isn't it? And probably Man City, because both those clubs are funded by external millions, but their attitude is to be the best club in the world. And I think, any Arsenal fan, Manchester United fan, Tottenham fan would love to have owners that want to spend the money the club makes to make us the best club in the world. So, I think it is Chelsea or Man City. Although there is a ruthlessness that you do need. I mean, look, were they wrong to sack Lampard? I felt Lampard should have been given till the end of the season, but you'd look at it now and say, well, no, it was definitely the right decision. Definitely. Hey Mark, how would you think Man City would be without Sterling or Gundogan? I still think they would be good. I still think they were good. Would you do a Chelsea career mode? Says Pan? No. How did I get baited? I don't even know how I got baited because I don't even know what I've said. The new Premier League football has affected the game, says Max Etheridge, or should we say Jurgen Klopp. Are you going to do watch along for Villa Leicester tomorrow, says Nate? I'm thinking about it. Free kick on the edge of the box here for Liverpool. My mate Angus fancies Bruno Fernandes a bit much. It's getting a bit hard. How do you reckon I sort him out, says Will Hayden. There's nothing wrong with fancying Bruno Fernandes. I don't. But did I say maths debate? I didn't. I don't remember saying that tonight. I don't remember saying it I remember saying it a while ago. I don't know what I've apparently said to get baited tonight. So how has he been baited exactly? I think people are just putting it out there for a. Oh, let's masturbate. Was the one? Hi Mark, as fans we need to have a mass. Yeah, I've got it now, Music Corner, yeah. So he says, as fans we need to have a mass, you know what, over the younger players not getting games. Yeah. Yeah, I've got it. I think hopefully it'll run its course one day, trying to get like YouTubers to say rude words by combining two. But I've obviously not hit that level yet. Henderson's gone off. Yeah, I missed all that. With all this masturbating. Oh, it's like what he's just said. Is it really that funny? Oh, Willie, Fanny, you know. We're a bit more. We should be a bit above all that, really. But Jordan Henderson comes off and Phillips comes on. He's not able to recover. And you'd expect that one would probably be quite a long one. It's another centre-back as well, is it? That's the thing. I mean, I don't think they want to lose any players, but they certainly don't want to lose any more people playing at centre-back. How good do you think Bruno really is, says Ashik? Very good. And referees calling fouls for all ball tackles. Worst refs in Europe, says White Owl. Out of the United Stand presenters, best footballer, says Balu. Me. Notice there was... Oh, what a save! He's got to score that! What a save by Alisson. Cross comes in, and it's Seamus Coleman who gets his head on it. I think it's Digne whipping it in. What a cross by Digne. And Coleman gets there. He's got to score. He's really got to score it. I mean, he's diving header in it. He's got loads of power. It's straight at the keeper. He's got to score that. It's not a great save. It's straight at him, really. What a chance that was to make it 2-0. Typical right back's header. Ooh, Rodriguez with the corner and it was going in. Digne. Tell you what, Everton might fancy their chances a little bit more now that Henderson's gone off. They've got Phillips and Kabak at centre-back, and it certainly weakens them in that area. Jack says, what Liverpool player, past and present, annoys you the most? And who is your favourite Liverpool player, past and present? Well, I don't have a favourite Liverpool player, past and present, because I don't have a favourite Liverpool player. Because Liverpool and favourite doesn't come into my vocabulary as a United fan. But the one that probably annoys me the most is John Aldridge. Yeah, just as a kid, he just really annoyed me. Here's Jones. There's plenty of Everton players back though. Now Salah. Into Jones. Goes for a shot. Shoots it wide. If you were manager of Everton and could sign one player, who would it be? And the same for Liverpool. This is Corey H. A prime Van Dijk for Manchester United I would take. And from Everton, probably Calvert-Lewin. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. We were about 20 away from 328,000. So please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Get involved with the channel. You're all welcome on here. It's not club specific, so we do watch alongs for all sorts of different games. We are doing Chelsea on Tuesday night in the Champions League. And I think tomorrow we might be doing Villa Leicester at 2 o'clock. So lots and lots of watch alongs to get involved with. FIFA Career Mode's on here as well. That's back on Monday afternoon. All my days, get Digne in at Old Trafford ASAP, says Adityo. Yeah, Luke Shaw and Tellez say hold my beer. Like, we don't need Digne at Old Trafford. Why would you want 3 really good left backs? I don't want Digne. He's a very good Digne, but I don't want him at United. We don't need another good left back. We've got 2, thanks. Are you going to do Mönchengladbach against City? I haven't decided yet, but I think City will batter them. Salah into Jones. I think he's going to book Gomez after this. Trent's got it on the edge. Firmino. Thiago. Headed away. Wijnaldum. That's not a foul. That's not a foul, ref. That's not a foul by Richarlison on Wijnaldum there. That's just a 50-50 ball. Spurs West Ham tomorrow. Uzi, I don't know. Don't know about that. I think that's going to be a boring game. What's your Twitch username, Mark? Says I'll tell you what I'll do. I've got a plan. If there was a problem, I'll solve it. Check out the hook and the DJ revolves it. Ice, ice, baby. Boom, 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 boom. I said stop, collaborate and listen. Ice is back with a brand new adventure. This is a good free kick area. I think normally Trent might hit this, but they're not going to do it. Side netting header. From Phillips. Not really a chance. There is a United stand show tonight, yeah. Yeah, there is. So, let's come back to the live comments there. See if this works. So yeah, I am going to start doing some Football Manager and some other sort of games, but they will be on the Twitch. They'll be on Twitch, and I've dropped the link in the video description, which takes you straight to my Twitch page. So if you want to give me a follow on there, Twitch is really good at notifications as well. So when I do start doing it, you will get notifications. So give us a follow on Twitch. I'm going to be doing a Football Manager career very, very soon on there. So give us a follow. Thank you very much. I said I'd do that at lunchtime. I will be doing a bit of Fall Guys and just the odd stream where I just play different games. People want me to play a bit of Rocket League as well. So, but I am going to do a Football Manager career mode on there. So links in the video description. Give us a follow there. Cross comes in, cleared away by Andre Gomez. Nearly 7 minutes to half time already. And if Liverpool are going to get back into this game, they need a little bit more urgency. Nice ball down the line there. Cross comes in. Cleared away by Keane. But that opening goal for Everton has really made this game obviously harder for Liverpool. You know, against the team that was going to play defensive anyway, with a goal lead, it makes it very difficult. It's a bit like Man United against West Brom last week. You know, you concede an early goal against the team that's going to play deep, and it makes it doubly hard because they're not going to stop playing deep. Hi Mark, me and Cam Close wishing you well. Do think City have a better academy than United? Foden, Sancho, Garcia, Diaz, all recent City players, says Joseph Tucker. Well, you know, I think City have got a good youth system. So have Chelsea. They've put enough money into it. But the reality is it's United are still the club that gives their youth more chances. Yeah, and Diaz is not City either. He's not from the youth setup. Do you like Cadbury or Galaxy? I'd go with Galaxy. Lionel says, my dad just said we should sell Martial and buy Richarlison. Lionel, I can safely say your dad's a prat. I don't even like Richarlison much. I don't. I think he's a diver. I think he's inconsistent. I mean, he's a good player, but I wouldn't swap him for Martial. But, you know, I'm never going to say swap him for Martial anyway. The same Brahim Diaz. Well, I've never bloody heard of him, really. I mean, I know who he is, but he's not a first teamer, is he? Look at United's first team in the last few years. Rashford, Greenwood, Twansebi, Williams. You know, they've all played regular football. Do you think Dan James could make a backup right back? Says Ho. No. Alex the player says, I need a goal from Liverpool, man. I'm sure Liverpool will score in this game. Having said that, you don't necessarily know. I can't say I'm sure, to be honest with you. They're on the attack here with Salah. Cross to the back post. Pickford catches it. Oh, that's a good stretch as well. Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Oh, yes, yes, yes. That's good. What's your plans for Saturday night, everybody? I take it you're not going to watch Fulham against Sheffield United. If you are, you're a bit sad. My plans will be United stand at 8 o'clock and then probably watch a movie. I want to watch a movie. Thanks for the super chats that are coming in. Mark, what would you do if your son started supporting Liverpool, says Kane? I failed. I failed as a father if that happens, because I just don't understand how it could happen. There'd be a lot of soul searching and wondering, you know, how it happened, because it wouldn't be allowed. You know, I'd never stop them supporting the team they want to, but you wouldn't be allowed to wear a Liverpool shirt in the house. Like, you know, it is my house, so, you know, if they went, you're joking, I'm going to wear it, I'd say no, I'm not. I don't have to see that in the house that is mine. I do not have to do that. So you're not doing it, basically. In a nutshell. As a squirrel would say, in a nutshell, it's not happening. Do you think Liverpool were doping? They ran faster and more than every other team they played, using pretty much the same starting 11 for 3 years, says Modico. I don't think there's any evidence to suggest that, is there? I have watched The Reverend, Marcus writes. The one with Leonardo DiCaprio, very, very good. Evening, Mark. When can we see some Warzone Bridge, and what other games will you play on Twitch, says Thatchy Dashy. Well, give us a follow. I've dropped the link in the video description. I'd like to play Warzone, but I haven't played Call of Duty. I haven't even bought the latest one. I've still got the one from like 18 months ago. Rich Williams says, does Ollie saying we are a work in progress, which most fans accept, does that give the board the excuse not to do what's required? Well, they don't need an excuse, do they, Rich, to be fair? T4 says that McTominay's better than Thiago. I'll tell you what, shall I tweet that for a laugh? I'll tell you what I think I'm going to do. I know, watch this on Twitter. It's going to... I've tweeted, Freddie's actually more of an influence on United than Thiago is for Liverpool. He slows them down so much. Talk about kicking them when they're down. Now, if we have got any Liverpool fans in the live comments, it's literally just a wind-up on Twitter. But if I know United fans like I think they do, they'll start retweeting that. Favourite takeaway and your order. Need inspiration, says Josh Canning. Well, we're nearly at half-time, Josh, so I'll talk to you about that at half-time because I just don't want to miss anything on the football. But you know what? Actually, it is low-key true anyway. I think Thiago slows Liverpool down massively. I like Thiago. I wanted him to come to United, but he does slow them down. Baloo says, why don't you play GTA 5 on your gaming videos? Trevor is hilarious. Good idea, that. Most annoying commentary team and why? Mine is Hoddle and all BT, says Daniel. The great thing is that if I watch a game of football now, I tend to... Kabak has just got booked. If I watch a football match now, that sums up a really bad half for Kabak, doesn't it? If I watch a football match now, I tend to do a stream. So I can't remember the last time I watched a football match with commentary, because if I watch it, I'd rather be like this. I'm not a Liverpool or Everton fan. I'd rather interact with the live comments. So I'm fortunate. I don't have to listen to the audio. Nice little play. Gomez. They're all onside if he puts his cross in. Oh, it's not very good. 4 minutes added on here in the first half. Tapas Mark Noble, says Falabi. I know who you're talking about. Instantly know who you're talking about. Instantly. I don't think Thiago suits Liverpool at the moment, because Liverpool are always a side. Well, over the last 2 or 3 years, Liverpool have been successful for wave after wave of attack and high press, and that just doesn't happen with Thiago. He's not mobile, is he? He's like a house. He's not mobile. Good play by Everton here. Digne switches the play. Lovely switch of the play. Coleman gives it to Rodriguez. Still not half time. Still a couple of minutes to go. And Liverpool may have to make a few changes here at half time. They've already had to make one change because of Henderson. But it's an interesting game. Early goal for Everton, and Liverpool just haven't been able to respond with decent chances. They've had a few good shots from outside the box, but they're not creating stuff in and around the box. And I think that's because Everton have, Ancelotti's set up very clever. When they get the ball, we work back and we deprive them of the space to get into our box. And although Mane's in the box, but it doesn't feel like a game at the moment where Everton are going to get, where Liverpool are going to score 3 or 4 goals. So my thought is, when does Calvert-Lewin come into the game? Do you know Lindelof and Bailly are the same height at 6'2", but it's the aerial leap that lets Lindelof down always, was pointed out by Jose as a pundit, says Baloo. I would never have believed you on that. I would never believe that Bailly and Lindelof are the same heights. They look completely different specimens when dealing with strikers. Cleared up. See, look at the amount of... There was 8 Everton players in the penalty box there. Mark, what do you think of reports that United are in talks with Matteo Tognosi for Director of Football, says Chris Elliott? I think it's a load of bollocks. I don't think United will sign a Director of Football. Would United be interested in Longley or Mtiti, says FB? I would hope not. Barcelona's defence is shit. It really isn't good, is it? I mean, Mtiti can't even get into what is a very poor Barcelona. I thought Longley was really bad the other night. And Piqué's way past his best as well. Mark, if these are largely soft tissue injuries, at what point do you have to blame Liverpool's conditioning programmes or player usage overall, says Joseph Kenny. But I think, Joseph, you make a good point about Liverpool there. They are picking up a lot of injuries, but if you look at what the person said about doping, I'm not suggesting they dope at all, but what they have done over the last 3 years is play the same players consistently. And that, over 3 years, playing as much as they're playing, when you bring them into a season like this season where there's been no break, they just can't do it. And they are picking up a lot of injuries. So, and look, you look at Liverpool's bench, even, how many people are out injured at the moment? Fabinho, Van Dijk, Gomez, Matip. Four key players, and Jota, 5. But their bench looks decimated for 5 players being injured. So they haven't got depth. I mean, Man United, Spurs and Chelsea have got much better 20-player squads than Liverpool have got. Liverpool can't afford injuries. That's their problem, and they haven't had them. His Dortmund team burnt out too, says Graham Farrell, and maybe that's the thing with Klopp. Maybe his teams do burn out a little bit. We're at half time. Let me just stop the clock. So Everton leading with an early goal, and it's all to do for Liverpool again. They're looking down the barrel of their 4th Premier League loss in a row, but not only that, their 4th Anfield loss in a row. And I've been quite. I mean, I'm not normally sympathetic to Liverpool, but to lose. It's like if City win a treble, well done. But it's a bit of a weak one, isn't it? When you've not had any fans in the ground. Where's the intimidation away from home? Where's the challenge? And I think Liverpool losing that 3-year unbeaten record at Anfield is a little bit weak. When a big part of that is the crowd at Anfield. But having said that, to lose 4 in a row, whether there's fans there or not, is not really acceptable, is it? And that's what they're looking at the moment. What they've got to do in the second half is create more chances. Everton are playing very, very deep and very organised, and they've got something to hold on to. Liverpool have got to find a way to start creating more chances in this game. Please subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We were about 20 subscribers away from 328,000. So let's see if we can hit that tonight. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Everybody's welcome here, of course. It is That's Football. And we do lots of different watch-alongs. We did Chelsea-Southampton at lunchtime. Thinking of doing one tomorrow. Maybe Leicester Villa, but we'll see. Reasons for Liverpool injuries could be the intensity of their training, says Christian. I think also, they do press high and put a lot of energy in, and there's not been anywhere to get any rest this season, has there? So, thoughts on Atletico versus Chelsea, says Michael. I think that I'm looking forward to doing that. We're doing a watch along for that on Tuesday night, and I think Chelsea are going to win. I do not think La Liga is better than the Premier League, and I think even though Chelsea are not the best team in the Premier League, I think we'll beat the best. I think the Premier League will beat the best team in La Liga on Tuesday. But look, we'll see what happens. You can have a drink tonight, JH. I'm going to have a glass of red wine in a bit tonight because it's Italian food, so a nice glass of red wine. If I was having a curry or a Chinese or a fish and chips, I'd have a nice cold lager. Which reminds me, somebody said they're thinking of ordering a takeaway. What would my order be? If I was having a pizza, I normally go for sort of like a meat feast or a ham and pineapple or something like that. Yes, I do like pineapple on a pizza. If I was going for an Indian, it would be pilau rice, tikka masala, onion bhaji, sag paneer, or if I wasn't having the onion bhaji, I'd have prawn on puree, and then I'd have garlic naan and probably 2 or 3 poppadoms with all the sauces. If I was having a Chinese, I'm salivating at this. If I was having a Chinese, beef chow mein, egg fried rice, sesame prawn toast, and sweet and sour Cantonese style. I wouldn't eat all of it, but that's what I'd like. Fish and chips with peas if I was having fish and chips. Kebab meat and chips. I'd have chicken kebab meat and chips. Love that. That's pretty much what I would go for. Or just a home cooked steak and chips with baked beans, garlic bread, some mushrooms, maybe some onions with it. That would be nice as well. What's your thoughts on Greenwood, says Camo. Doing very, very well at the moment. He's getting better. Steak and kidney pie. I don't really like kidneys, to be honest. I like a beef and onion pie from the chip shop. Or a chicken and mushroom. Mark, you say Man City's treble will be less significant because there are no fans. I disagree. They had no fans anyway. Ba-dum-dum, says Dean Elliott. I like that one. Very, very good. And I wouldn't order everything I've just said there. Somebody just said Pigbridge. I wouldn't order all of that. I was saying if I was having individual ones. It's pilau rice, not pilar. Well, it's Richarlison, not Richarlison, but I'll say it how I like. Everton hanging in there, says Bobby. I don't think they're hanging in there. I think at the moment, Liverpool are going to have to step it up. If they want a result, I think Everton are looking good for at least a draw here at the moment, which I wouldn't mind. From United's point of view, Liverpool dropping points would be a good thing. Could go 9 points ahead of them if they lose tonight. McDonald's order, says Corey. I'm not massively into McDonald's anymore, but for me it would be Big Mac, fries, sweet and sour sauce, carton, probably a chocolate milkshake, and if I was really hungry I'd get a cheeseburger as well. What will you do a watch along of Milan versus Inter tomorrow, says Wes. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow yet. All I know is I'm doing United Newcastle at 7 o'clock on United Stand. Score prediction, Arsenal City, I think 3-2, Saka hat-trick, says Zamiasi. I think 5-0, Pep comes on and gets a hat-trick because you're so shit at the back. And thoughts on women, says FK. Bit of a mixed bag. And Mark, do you think Salah will leave Liverpool in the summer, or Klopp or Mane, says Cave? No. I think it's very hard for teams to... I think it's very hard for players to leave this summer. And, you know, a lot of clubs won't have money. And there'll be too many players that might be thinking about moving, but will just have to stay where they are. Looking at the chances in that half, 1-0 to Everton, and the next best chance is the Coleman header, is the same as Coleman header from a delightful cross from Digne. So really, it could have been 2-0. It could have been worse for Liverpool in this game. I think the game's going to end 2-1, says Gustav. Well, remember, the Liverpool don't really have anything on the bench. So Liverpool have got to go with what they've got. Everton have got Sigurdsson, Iwobi. All right, that wasn't a great start, but Calvert-Lewin, Alan. Everton have actually got good options on their bench. So, you know, the way Everton are playing at the moment, they might quite fancy this. Mark, what do you think of Tuchel comments on Hudson-Odoi? We spoke about that, Sadiq. I mean, look, it's a very, very public dressing down, isn't it? To bring him on as a sub at half time and then take him off in the second half, that's very rare. And then to come out and say it was because of his attitude. You know, Tuchel's not been at that club very long. Hudson-Odoi is very much liked by many Chelsea fans. And, you know, you don't really want to be making enemies that early in the club. They're doing very well with Chelsea. I'd be interested to see what Chelsea fans thought of that because, you know, I thought it was quite surprising. I actually thought he was playing quite well. And I thought the subs were a mistake. But some might say it shows strong management. There you go. Full-time prediction in this game. I think it might end up in a draw. Maybe 2-2, 1-1. But I think it's going to end up in a draw. Is my heartfelt opinion on this game. Klopp and Duncan Ferguson fall out in the tunnel, says Akil. I think that's speculative. I think that's a speculative thing to say. Would you rather Ollie wins the league in 3 to 4 years or Nagelsmann or Poch to win it next year or a year after, says Gavin. Well, I'd rather Man United win it in the next couple of years than wait 4 years for Ollie. But if you, of course I would. I mean, look, I know what you're getting at. It's the sentimentality of it, isn't it? But yeah, I don't want to. I would rather that didn't happen. Eat your clothes. That's what you said if McTominay signed. That's not what I said, Toby Games, but whatever. Some weird people that get obsessed about comments from 3.5 years ago. Must be a really sad life, actually, to get obsessed about what somebody who's totally irrelevant in your life said 3.5 years ago. And it must burn you up as well to be sat there like, oh, you said this 3.5 years ago. Chill out. If you don't like the content, there's plenty of other things to do. Mark, do you worry about Marcus Rashford in later on playing days being overplayed and playing a few little injuries, says Rich William? I think I'd worry about that with any player. It certainly happened with Wayne Rooney. And, you know, Rashford has played a lot of football. But hopefully, it won't be an issue in years to come. Saka or Foden, says A1. Foden at the moment. I think he's very, very impressive. Young player of the year for me at the moment. And what do you think United would suffer the most without McTominay or Fred, says Charlie MCC. I don't think there's much in it, really. You're going to start streaming Ultimate Team, says Jack White. Look, if all this Ultimate Team, Football Manager, Rocket League, Fall Guys, Player Career, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen on my Twitch channel, and I've dropped the link in the video description for my Twitch channel. So just give it a follow. Twitch is very good at dropping notifications out when I go live. The first thing I'm probably going to do is Football Manager. So give us a follow on Twitch. That's where those things are going to happen. This will always be for watch-alongs and my FIFA career mode, but there is going to be extra stuff coming soon, so check it out on my Twitch channel. Links in the video description. Do you think Van Dijk will have the same impact when he returns from injury, says Lee Brennan? I think if Van Dijk comes back the player he was before, Liverpool will get better very, very quickly. If he comes back and he's not the same player, then, you know, there's an issue there, isn't there? You never know. You never know how an injury like that can impact on a player. That's the worry. You lose Van Dijk for the season, but also what happens when he comes back? You know, talking about back, I'm just stretching my back. So yeah, you know, what does that mean for Van Dijk when he comes back? Because he could get secondary injuries. He might lose a yard of pace. You just don't know. It's a massive injury, and obviously it happened against Everton, didn't it? And yeah, it's had a massive impact on Liverpool's season. As I was saying during the game, Man United lost Roy Keane with a knee injury in '98, came back in '99 and we won the treble. But we didn't win anything that year. Arsenal won the double. We lost him for a large portion of the season. So, you know, there are precedents that things can fall off a cliff when you lose a very important player in your team. But also there are precedents that you can come back and still achieve great things as well. I don't know how old Roy Keane was when he did his knee. Let's have a look. This is the great thing about Twitter. Roy Keane knee injury. So how old's Van Dijk at the moment? It was the 2nd of October 1997 that it happened for Roy Keane. And Roy Keane would have been at that age 97. He was born in 71. So he just turned 26 when he did that, which is still quite young, isn't it? But you're talking late 90s, and medical advancements come on a lot better there. See, yeah, Van Dijk's 29, so there's a 3-year gap in age. But as I said, fitness routines and medical procedures, you know, we're 24 years further on, aren't we? So there's probably not a lot of difference in age and fitness in relation to Roy Keane doing that at 26 and Van Dijk doing it at 29. So yeah, it will be interesting. What's happened on Twitter with your post? Well, it's had quite a lot of interaction in 17 minutes at Mark Goldbridge. Give it a retweet if you are on Twitter. Question from my mate Scott. Do you think we should compare Mbappe and Haaland to Messi and Ronaldo? Says Joseph Tucker. Well, that's one for the live comments. Off subject, but is your new chair helping with back issues? Says Kenneth. Yes and no, Kenneth. I think I just need I have had back pain, but I do actually think it's probably back pain from adjusting to a new chair. You know what I mean? It's like when you start doing exercises that you weren't doing before. I think it ultimately will be better for me. I do wonder whether I could just do with a lower back support to go in there, actually. Leonore says they shouldn't be compared yet, or maybe never. I don't think Haaland and Mbappe should be on the same book. Not even on the same bookshelf. Not even in the same library within the same postcode as Messi and Ronaldo. But I'm old enough to remember Messi and Ronaldo, and I think Messi and Ronaldo were levels ahead of where Mbappe and Mbappe and Haaland are at this age. That's not to say that they're not going to be top players, but I think Ronaldo and Messi are two players that are going to go down as two of the top 10 players in the world ever. Are Mbappe and Haaland going to do that? Because that's what they need to do. If Haaland and Mbappe are going to be two of the best players in the world ever, then they need to be on the same page as Ronaldo and Messi. But we're not going to know that for about 5 years, because they're both so young at the moment. Second half's about to kick off. What do you think is going to happen in this second half? Next goal's key. Liverpool need to win this game as well. It's not about a draw as a good result. Liverpool have lost their last 4 Premier League games. They've got to win this game. Will they do it? Do you think Rashford is quite like Rooney in that he doesn't get the respect he deserves and has burst onto the scene quite young? I think Rooney was a level above. Rooney was a world-class player. I don't think Rashford's a world-class player yet. And Rooney was a world-class player at like 17, wasn't he? So I don't. And also they're very different players as well. The explosive pace of Rashford is not what Rooney had. Rooney was explosive, but he wasn't an explosive pace player. So Liverpool got to try and get back into this game. Paul says, Google yoga cobra stretch. Life changer. I'm going to have a look at that. Always looking for things to do to strengthen the lower back. Rooney lost last night. There's an interesting game next week, Freddie B. Nottingham Forest against Derby County next Friday night. It's a derby, and it's always a quite a high-intensity passion game. But it's also Garner on loan from Man United at Forest and Mengi on loan for Derby with Rooney the manager. Good cross just came in there from Robertson. Mane heads this about level with the penalty spot when he heads it. And straight at the keeper. Couldn't get much height on it. Couldn't get much power on it. But it's a good opportunity. I think Rooney's doing okay at Derby T4. Yeah, I mean, Richarlison, he's offside. I think he's doing all right at Derby. I mean, they're not high up in the league, are they? But he took over from them when they were quite low down. I think they've drawn quite a lot of games as well. I do like Cobra Kai, big boy. Yeah. How was Salford doing in the league? Somebody just said that they had Liverpool and Everton in their bet, but Salford blew it for them earlier. What are they, League 2? Let's have a look. There's Mane on the right-hand side. They're in the playoffs, Salford. Could potentially get into the top 3. I mean, Salford should be in the Championship soon. They've got so much bloody money behind them, haven't they? They'll have more fans than City soon. 5th in League 2, says Amit, yeah. Liverpool is the worst team in the league at the moment, says Karuru. I wouldn't go that far. I haven't seen Haaland's amazing goal for Dortmund, so I can't comment on it, Red Carter. Would you swap Pogba for Dembele? FB. What? Usman Dembele? No. I think he's massively injury prone. I wouldn't want him anywhere near United. Very talented player, but I wouldn't want him at United for his injury problems. I think United need to think like that nowadays. I mean, look at Liverpool. What a prime example that if you lose good players with injuries that you're going to suffer. You know, it's more important to have... I've said this so many times. I'd rather have a player that plays 7 out of 10 every week but plays 90% of your games than a player that plays 9 out of 10 every week but only plays 40% of your games. You know, it's a no-brainer. Injuries are something that clubs are looking more and more at now because game time is more relevant. Here's Trent into the box. Oh, I thought that was in. Lovely run by Trent. Puts the cut back there and an Everton player clears it. Just needed a foot on it to tap it into an empty net. And he's not. He's nicked in there on Digne. Firmino, Salah. Good cross. Comes back to Robertson. Let's just see what happens with this Liverpool attack. Thiago slows it down again and gets caught on the ball. But Back with Jones. Cross comes in and it's Mane again. He's got to score that one. Bit similar to Coleman for Everton. It's a lovely cross by Jones. It's a lovely cross by Jones because the Everton defender can't get it. It's over Holgate's head. Lands on Mane's head. Look at this cross. Holgate just can't stop it. And then Mane probably struggling to keep it down, to be fair. Yeah, he's leaning back and high. Hard header to get onto. Only 2 teams have taken more points than Derby since Rooney took over. I wouldn't mind seeing him manage United if he continues. Well, I don't know. We've tried that before. I think United need to stop getting sentimental and start getting specialists. I think, and in this game, Everton need to try and target that centre-back pairing of Liverpool a little bit more. At the moment, they're just sitting back a lot. And I understand that, but Kabak and Phillips, it's not really a defensive pair to send shivers down the spine, is it? Shatty Gaming, thank you for the super chat. And Henderson's overrated, says Reed. Well, he's not on the pitch, so that's probably why he's not playing well in your eyes. Marvin AM says Mane is good in the air for his height. He does win a lot of headers, you're right, yeah. Would you rather an Everton win or a draw? But look, Liverpool fans would say it about United tomorrow. You can't never want Liverpool to lose. Just the same way Liverpool fans want United to lose. It's part of what we're all about. But I do think a draw is a really good result for United because Everton are a team tracking us down. But to be honest with you, I think Everton are more capable of dropping silly points, aren't they? So, yeah, I'd probably prefer an Everton win, I think. And take the risk that Everton will drop silly points anyway. Oh, Mane, 1-1. What a tackle. What a tackle by Keane. He gets into all sorts of problems. It looks like Mane is going to stroke it home. And he sticks his foot out and gets a brilliant tackle block on Mane. It's a good tackle by Keane as well because he does make a little bit of a mistake to allow it in the first place from Robertson's pass. Really good, really good. Well done, Keane. Used to be at United. Another ex-United youth player. I mean, this is what I mean. People talk about, oh, Man City's youth system is so good. There are so many players that don't make it at United but then go and make it elsewhere. Bit like they're like Frank Sinatra. If I can't make it there, I'll make it anywhere. So Michael Keane's one, isn't he? You know, reel off the names of United players that are playing in the Premier League that are not playing for Manchester United but came through United's youth system. There used to be loads. Robbie Savage, Trevor Sinclair. I think Trevor Sinclair was part of United's youth setup at one point. Maybe Man City, actually. But Robbie Savage, definitely. There's been loads over the years. Loads. Dwight McNeil, Burnley, Josh King, yeah. Johnny Evans, Michael Keane, Sam Johnston, Jesse Lingard. Zaha's not one. He didn't come through United's youth. He came to United, we misused him and we sent him back to Palace. Well, as the minutes tick by, I mean, look, you can score 2 goals in 2 minutes. Of course you can. And, you know, the game could change very quickly for Liverpool. But the momentum of the game just isn't changing, is it? It's still very much the same as the first half. Yes, Liverpool are having a lot of ball, but they're having a lot of the ball in the areas that Everton don't mind. And they're not creating enough chances. The way Everton have set up defensively, look, Ancelotti's always been one of my favourite coaches anyway. But if you look at the way Everton have played today, they've got this 3 central centre-backs, they've got the 2 wing-backs, and then they've got 3 midfielders in front. It becomes a back 8, but it's not a 4-4 back 8. It's all about depriving spaces. They're all mapped with each other. They're all tracking along the pitch, closing spaces, making it very hard for Liverpool to pass through them. It's not just get 8 people behind the ball. It's basically like a 3-3 and then 2 wide players, and it's very clever what they're doing. They're not allowed. There's a very close gap between the defensive line and the midfield line, which makes it very hard for Liverpool to create triangles or 1-2s. There's a nice 1-2 though. Trent into the box, and that'll be headed away by Coleman. Reed says, should Harvey Barnes be in the England squad? Yep, I think so. He offers something very different. You know, he's one of those rarities, you know, a left-footed left winger. Although, Saka's one as well, isn't he? Mane slipped there. I thought it was going to be a penalty, but he slips. Oh, Andre Gomez tacked in a stupid area. Gets away with it because Firmino can't shoot. People saying tactics, Bridge. It's not my tactics, it's Ancelotti. You can see what he's done. Very good manager, Ancelotti. Thanks everyone for subscribing, by the way. Bottom right hand corner. Barnes is right-footed, actually. I'd never know. I mean, I don't watch loads of Leicester, but I'd never noticed it. I'd never really seen him as a right-footed player because he offers such good width off the left-hand side, and he gets so many good crosses in. So that's interesting that he's right-footed, because I've never thought. Shows you what a good job he does then, because I never see him as a left winger who keeps cutting back all the time. I think he's well, it's like Marvin says, his weak foot's good. Yeah, he puts a lot of good natural crosses in from the left-hand side. So, fair play. If he's right-footed, he's right-footed. Mark necking the straight vodka there, says New Tonic. Oh, yeah. Not started drinking yet. Yahya says, are you left-footed or right-footed? I was born right-footed, but I was two-footed by the time I was playing. My granddad absolutely made sure that I was two-footed, which is what I would do with any of my kids as well. It's opens the game up if you can play with both feet. Waiting for a Salah dive, says Charlie Curtis. Yeah, he's just ran off to the side to get his speedos on, actually. Kabak just about gets rid of it. Not very assured. I know Pole have suffered with injuries in defence, but I feel as champions they should have invested at the back. Do you think they're bad champions? Says Sakil. Oh, it's a substitution here for Everton. Sigurdsson's coming on, I think. Andre Gomez is coming off. Always good to see Andre Gomez coming back and playing football. I mean, I know most people do these days, but that was a bad break, wasn't it? When with that incident with Son. I think Liverpool's title defence has been surprising. I predicted Liverpool were going to win the league. But I think what it shows is that when you lose a player like Van Dijk, and then you lose another player like Joe Gomez, and then Matip, and you have to start playing people out of the midfield at the back. You know, you don't just lose centre-backs, you lose your midfield as well. And I keep saying it, Thiago slows them down in that midfield. Angry Klopp is a lot more entertaining to watch on the touchline than Happy Klopp. It's hilarious. He's not one to hide his emotions, says Gavin Blake. Well, still half an hour to go in this. I respect Coleman. What a proper player and servant. What do you think about him, says Callum Turner. Look, Seamus Coleman's getting on a bit now, but I remember when he was sort of like mid-20s, he was a player that we used to constantly talk about coming to Manchester United, and I think he would have been a good right-back for United. But he's been a great servant for Everton. Oh, mistake at the back there. Oh, he's given the foul. He's given the foul. Thiago nearly robbed it, and it could have been a breakaway for Liverpool, but he's given the foul. Assuming Ollie rotates the squad Thursday, who would play as the centre-back pairing? I see Twansebi and Jones, says Killian. Oh, look at Klopp. He's going mad. I don't see how you think Phil Jones is going to play. He's been injured for a year, mate. If Phil Jones is playing on Thursday, they'll have to wheel him out in a wheelchair. He won't be fit. Here he comes. DCL. Calvert-Lewin. Nice ball to Richarlison here, though. Got it in the box and loses it. I wonder if it would just be a straight swap, Richarlison for Calvert-Lewin, or he might take Rodriguez off and put Richarlison behind Calvert-Lewin. Rodriguez is on. Oh, he's onside here, Richarlison. What is he doing? Take him off. Why didn't he hit that first time? Gets the ball over the top. It's there to be hit on his right foot, and he takes a bloody touch. Has he got no right foot, Richarlison? Why didn't he hit that? What a chance. Watch this back. It's a lovely... He's probably onside again. That's there to be hit on your right foot. I'm sorry. You hit that on your right. Why didn't he hit that? I don't understand it. I don't understand why he didn't hit that. Yeah, I've got it right again. Richarlison will go to number 10. Rodriguez comes off. And Calvert-Lewin goes up front. Yeah, United's title challenge under David Moyes was absolute shite. So however bad Liverpool's is, don't forget United were title holders when Moyes took over. It was awful. Jones would fall out the wheelchair in the tunnel and be out for another year, says Mark Dobby. And I'm happy Dan James scored, but then I'm not. I don't want him to start, to be honest, says Callum Turner. I'll be surprised if he starts tomorrow against the low block. Yeah. It's funny about David Moyes. We weren't doing United Stand at the time, but I remember I was like messaging my mate about David Moyes. And he was like, well, Sir Alex has sort of picked him. He says we've got to back him. And I was like, I don't care. I love Sir Alex Ferguson, but I do not want David Moyes as our manager. I was proper depressed from day one that we got Moyes. I never wanted him to be our manager. I never thought he was good enough. And when we bought Fellaini, I was even worse. I was just like, this is not going to work. And I was right on both of them. Whatever team you support, you just know certain people are not right. David Moyes was never right for United. Fellaini was never right for United. Probably the two worst appointments over the last 8 years that gave me a bad feeling at the time. Of course, Sanchez was a bad signing, but at the time I thought it was a good signing. But with Moyes and Fellaini from day one, I was just like, oh my God. So Calvert-Lewin's on. Oh, Richarlison's in here. He's onside as well. Kabak's up against him. Phillips heads it away. There are going to be opportunities on the break here. Sigurdsson hits it straight at Alisson. On the break, it's there for Everton. It's definitely there. Respect Fellaini, says True United. I tell you what, Fellaini was bloody good on Fantasy Premier League when he was at Everton. I used to have him in my team all the time. Did we ever find out the name of that player that played up front for Everton? I think he was Croatian. Was it Jelavic? He was good on Fantasy Premier League as well. I think, we'll have the career length like Rooney. I think youth now will have a career length like Rooney. Prime in the 20s and decline by 30 due to footballing age. Most players used to get into first team at 25, says Sam. Well, then again, I think it's about the way you look after yourself. I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo, if you read about conditioning coaches at United when Ronaldo was there, they were like, even in his early 20s and teens, he treated his body so well. Diet, recuperation, training. And hence, was it only a couple of years ago Ronaldo was about 33 or something like that? And they ran these tests and he had a body of a 26-year-old. So it's going to be really interesting to see how long Ronaldo plays on for, because he's 36 now, isn't he? But is he really 36 in relation to his body? Nico Jelavic. Yeah, Jelavic, that's what it was. Yeah, thanks everyone. Mane on the edge. Wide to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Lovely cross. Oh, no one's on the end of it. Thankfully. What's it like to be a national treasure, says King Samba. I'll let you know if it happens. And do you think Paul Ince is a United great midfielder? I thought he was underrated. Fantastic player, says Rich. To be fair to Paul Ince, in the era of Steve Bruce, who is another player that doesn't get the credit he deserves, Ince was a really important player for United around sort of up until he left in 90, was it 95 he went? But what he did after that sort of tarnished his image as a Man United great. So I wouldn't say Ince was a great for me. Not a legend. Was he a United great? He was a really good player and he scored a lot of goals as well. But, going and playing for Liverpool and being up his own arse like he was. I mean, he was a self-professed governor, wasn't he? I think, Ince sort of tarnished his United greatness by going and playing for Liverpool. So that's probably the reason. And these can be the things that do it. Right. That's got to be a foul by Mane, yeah. So 25 minutes to go. It remains 1-0. Michael Owen, a great. Well, he can be a Liverpool great because he's not a United great. Wolf of Wall Street. I might watch it tonight, Ben. I love the Wolf of Wall Street. I'm really in the mood. Sometimes you get in the mood for a film, for a certain film. Yeah. And yes, I am doing this a lot more with my hair because it's getting longer on the top. I don't know what to do with it because the hairdressers aren't open. I'm thinking of just shaving it at the sides and the back, but I'm going to have to keep the length on the top, which is going to look a bit silly, really. But Michael Carrick was a fantastic player for United Disease Gaming, and he would actually be a really good player to have at United now. When are you going to get a PS5? They're not really available still, are they? It's amazing that a console's been out for, coming up for 5-6 months, and you still can't really get them. Crazy. I'm not having a skinhead, no. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Everyone's welcome on this channel. We were really close to 328,000, so bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We were about 20 away. I think we've gone past it now. We'll check in a minute. But yeah, get involved. Everyone's welcome on here. I'm getting. I'll tell you what. I don't know about you lot. Some of you are probably eating your tea whilst you're watching this. I'm not. I can't. I'm starving. I'm looking forward to my dinner. There is a show on the United Stand tonight. Yes. I'll set it up after this. So yeah, we are on the United Stand later. Yeah. Yep. 20 minutes to go now. Just over 20 minutes to go, and Liverpool are staring down the barrel of a fourth Anfield loss in a row. Surely not. Who would have predicted that? And also, top four chances in jeopardy. I'll talk about that in a few minutes if they're still losing 1-0. I don't want to jinx it and start tempting fate because Liverpool can still win this game. And they're in the chance here. Salah. What a save by Pickford. Oh, I thought it was going to be a goal. Need Thiago booked for 330 quid, says United's call. But they break into the box here. They're having a bit of joy down the right-hand side, more than the left. Shaqiri plays it into Salah. You'd fancy Salah to score, and Pickford's actually played really well tonight. You'd fancy Salah from there. It's a good save by Pickford. Give him his dues. Real proper good save, that. 20 minutes to go. Van Dijk's going to be there on the touchline, really pissed off, isn't he? You know, last game against Everton, he gets an injury and puts himself out for the season. tonight at Anfield, Pickford decides to have a man of the match performance. Just wonder if there's that killer goal for Everton. Well, not with passing like that from Decore, but Everton win it back. If they get the second, it's over. But Salah's in now on the right-hand side. He's got Akers to run into. It's a 4 versus 3. He goes past Digne. And the referee says it's a dive. I think normally you'd be expecting a foul there. And there's an offside for Liverpool. Mark looks a bit like a Sith with his chair. Impressive. Most impressive. Cast no shadow or rocking chair, says I am the walrus. Rocking chair, definitely. Is progress for us that even if we have a dip in form, we are still good clearance to Chelsea and Liverpool? We will get our form back against Newcastle, says Chelsea. Yeah, United need to win tomorrow. Calvert-Lewin's in on the left-hand side. Runs it out for a goal kick. Obviously, he's not fully fit at the moment. Nigel says, if when Ollie gets the sack, who would you like as the next manager? Thanks for the watch-alongs and FIFA career mode. Keep up the great work. Really enjoy all your content. Thanks, Nigel. I'm not going to think about that because I'm really not in the mindset that Solskjaer will get the sack. So it's not something I've thought about. And I think also there's not really a manager that's available. So you're basically saying if Solskjaer gets sacked in the summer, who are we going to go for? Well, the summer's 4 or 5 months away, isn't it? Really, 4 months away, really. So it's yeah. I mean, I could mention some names, but I'm not honestly thinking about it. You know, Allegri's free, isn't he? I wouldn't take Allegri. Nagelsmann, is he ready for that sort of a job? I just think it's quite interesting. Thiago on the attack. I think it's quite interesting that Pochettino's got an 18-month contract at PSG, which will take him to the end of next season. Doesn't mean he won't get a new contract, but 18 months takes him to the end of next season. And I think if Firmino shoots high and wide, I think we will finish in the top 4 this year. But if it's top 4 again next year, then maybe United might make the change for Pochettino. But maybe Pochettino to United will never happen. But no, I'm happy with Ollie at the moment. I've said for a long time, let's just stick and see where we are in May, and then you can make a thought process on it then. What team would Thiago fit in, Said? I think Thiago probably suits the club we started off in Europe, isn't it? Barcelona. You know, a team like that would be good for Thiago. A Man City. He'd be very good at Man City as well. A team that's not, Liverpool are a team that when they've got everybody at their best, they play high intensity, high pressing football, and they're just not doing that. And the midfield are a big part of that. Eric Ten Hag, says Tariq. Yeah, he'd be another candidate. Yeah. So I just don't think Thiago gives the intensity and pressing that Liverpool have benefited from. But then their defensive line probably doesn't give them that at centre-back either, because they're scared of the ball in behind as well. King ZZ, can you call my mate Charles bad at FIFA, please? Charles, apparently you're bad at FIFA. So, I don't know whether you are or you're not, but he's saying that you are. Coming up for 15 minutes to go. There'd be a massive win for Everton. When was the last time Everton won at Anfield? Well, at the moment, still plenty of time for Liverpool to get back into it. But I think if you're a Liverpool fan, you're definitely concerned about winning. It's now becoming about a draw, isn't it? I mean, that doesn't mean it will be a draw. They've still got time to potentially get a win, but time is running out, and Everton's job thus far by Ancelotti tactically has worked very, very well. Shaqiri cleared away by Keane. It's 20 years. Bloody hell, I didn't realise it was that. I thought when I first saw 1999, I thought people were having a laugh. Everton haven't won at Anfield since 1999. I mean, I've got to say this. have to say this. I do not think that these records really matter. Is it really Everton winning at Anfield when there's no fans there? I think it does make such a massive difference having a crowd there, and you shouldn't have to lose these records that COVID have inflicted on people. But you do, because the game is played at Anfield. But realistically, it could be played at a bloody park, couldn't it? There's no atmosphere there. There's no intimidation there. If there's however many thousand Liverpool fans there, it's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? And but technically, it is going to be their first win at Anfield for since 1999. Is ruthlessness a big thing in football managers now? I don't really see it anymore. And is that what I need to do to go on a long winning streak, says Rich William. I think you do see ruthlessness in football. I think we saw it at lunchtime from Tuchel, isn't it? Your sub comes on at half time and you take him off with 15 minutes to go. That's ruthless. And then you come out afterwards and say his attitude was wrong. That's ruthless. Unpopular opinion, Thiago would suit us and Van der Beek would suit Liverpool's fast play, says Jacob. Yeah. I don't think it's an unpopular opinion. Digne's just gone down injured. Just remember a bit of a shout out. What I'm trying to say. My Twitch channel. I've dropped the link in the video description for my Twitch channel. I am going to be doing a Football Manager career mode soon, and I will be doing it on my Twitch channel. And people want me to do some Fall Guys and Rocket League. So if I'm going to do it, it's going to be on there. The good thing about Twitch is when you do go live, you do get notifications. So drop us a follow on Twitch, and then when I do it, you'll get the notification anyway. But Football Manager's coming soon, and it's going to be on there on Twitch. This channel will be watch-alongs like this and FIFA career mode, and that's enough for this channel. So other stuff will be done on Twitch. So give us a follow on there. Link in the video description. Chelsea says, we have to stop that talk that Ollie isn't good enough. He got too much stick. He don't get cred when deserved. He finally gives us some hope. We're finally a team. Just need some pieces in the puddle. Well, Chelsea, I don't disagree with you on there. But, the great thing about football is everyone's got an opinion. And, people will think what they want to think. Sancho just assisted Haaland for a world-class volley, says Kushro. I think it must have happened not just now, because I've heard people talking about this for about an hour. But I haven't seen it yet. I'll watch it after this. Long ball over the top towards Salah. Time is definitely running out for Liverpool. If they want a win here, they're going to need to start scoring. Neil Shaw makes a good point. Personally, I would have liked Ancelotti at United. I think we just we missed out on Ancelotti. The opportunity never arose. I would love Ancelotti to have come to United after Sir Alex. I would love Mourinho to have come to United after Sir Alex. I mean, we did get Mourinho, but we got him too late. We never got Ancelotti. Now, I think Ancelotti did say he would have liked the Man United job, but he'd already agreed to go to, was it Madrid, that summer. And United really ended up with shit because Mourinho had already... We went for Moyes, and we should have got Mourinho or Ancelotti then. And I think Ancelotti would have been a very good manager for Man United, what would have been 9 years ago. But, obviously that's not going to happen now. But he's a very good coach. I mean, as we've seen today, the way he set Everton up, brilliant. But, that Everton haven't really created anything, but they took their chance when it arose early on. Here's Wijnaldum running towards the back four. It's a lovely cross. Won't find its way to Robertson, who's got to run to keep it in. Thoughts on Curtis Jones, says Andrew Plays. I tell you what, for a young player that's been given an opportunity, he ain't too bad. But is he top four standard? I would love it if we had Liverpool fans in the comments telling us, what do you think of Curtis Jones? Because as an outsider, I think he looks not too bad. Is he good enough? Is he going to get better? These are the things that are important. Yeah, a lot of people saying he's very good. Thoughts on Kai Havertz? I think he's injured again, isn't he, Jose? Too slow with the ball, says Harry Tilson. Got a lot of potential, says Corona. Is Trent in the box, but Everton clear it away. Mark, can you say Charlie Marsh, get your piece out? G, says Clean. And Jones is a promising talent, but not good enough yet, says James Barker, which I think is fair enough. I think Jones is improving every week. Yeah, I mean, I don't watch Liverpool every week, Lackland, but I must admit, I saw him play. I think I saw him play when he scored that goal against Everton in the Cup a year ago, and there's a massive difference between then and now. What a ball that is by Trent. Well, a good interception by Keane. And Richarlison has turned his man. He's up against Kabak. He plays it in. Calvert-Lewin. He'll have to hit it first time. Good save by Alisson. Oh, Trent. Penalty. And why not a red? Why not a red? Red penalty to Everton. Why not a red? I don't even understand the rules anymore, but there's absolutely no intention to get the ball. It's a penalty. Watch this back. Richarlison plays it in. He's definitely onside. He shoots. Alisson saves it. Well, it's not intentional. Trent Alexander-Arnold has slid in. And the slide causes Calvert-Lewin to slip over him. Oh yeah, it's definitely a penalty. He'd be unlucky to get a red. But I don't understand why it's not a red, because there's no intention to play the ball. Arsenal fans are going to be screaming, why is it not a red card? He's going to VAR for something. I don't know what he's going to VAR for, because it's definitely a penalty. Why are they going to VAR? What are they going to VAR for here? So basically what happens is, lovely ball through by Richarlison. Calvert-Lewin gets his shot off. Trent Alexander-Arnold slides to block the shot. Alisson saves it. Calvert-Lewin goes to tap it in, and Trent Alexander-Arnold's head comes up and trips him over. So it's totally accidental, but I don't understand why there's no red card for it. Because there's no intention to tackle the ball. So I sympathise with Arsenal when they talk about David Luiz, because he's not even been booked. And Ziggerton scores! I thought Alisson was going to save it. Bottom corner. It's going to be 4 in a row. 4 Anfield losses in a row. And it's going to be Everton winning this game 2-0. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Klopp can't believe it. Trent, he's having a nightmare season. You might as well get in the river, Trent. It's 2-0. And it's all over. It's all over for Liverpool here. 2-0 to Liverpool. Not to Liverpool, dream on. 2-0 to Everton. And now we can look at the Premier League table and with total confidence say that Liverpool are not going to win this game. The league table doesn't lie. Liverpool on 40 points. Everton on 40 points with a game in hand. 6th place for Liverpool. If United win tomorrow, they can go 9 points ahead of Liverpool. It's not looking great for Liverpool at the moment. I still think they'll get top 4. But thinking they're going to get top 4 and actually getting top 4 is totally different. And you've got to say that Ancelotti's game plan has worked absolutely perfectly here. The clean sheet is the platform to build upon. They've not created loads of chances, Everton, but they've defended absolutely brilliantly. Their shape, the way he's pulled in 3 centre-backs, 2 wing-backs, 3 centre midfielders. The shape has worked perfectly well. It's made it very hard for Liverpool to create chances. Lovely run by Firmino, and he shoots wide. Probably the best bit of play from Firmino all game. But 5 minutes to go. And it's not looking good. I think I'll have to do a match reaction for this one as well. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Liverpool heading to their 4th Anfield loss in a row in the Premier League. Running out of excuses, I think. it's not a blip anymore with Liverpool, is it? There's a big, big problem. I mean, look, they've lost another player, a very important player today in Jordan Henderson. But it's a 90-minute game. You've not had anyone sent off. You've still got a lot of good players on that pitch. I'll say it again. I think Thiago is a huge problem in that Liverpool team. What do you get from Thiago? No banter. But what does Thiago bring to Liverpool? He dictates the tempo, apparently. Exactly. And he doesn't dictate a tempo that's quick enough. Richarlison goes off. Iwobi comes on. Let's not forget, Pickford made a good couple of saves as well. He brings the no-look pass. Ancelotti's hugging Richarlison. Big win for Everton this, though. Look, their first win at Anfield since 1999, but I'm not big on any of that because there's no fans in the ground. I don't think these records, they have to be broken because technically it is a game at Anfield, but it's not really beating Liverpool at Anfield when they haven't got their crowd, really. But it is, of course, I accept that. But the more important thing really is that it's a big win for Ancelotti, because I saw people this week talking about Ancelotti losing his job. And I think, well, you know what? Everton did buy some good players in the summer, but Alan's been out for a long time. And they don't have a lot of depth if players are out of form or have a few knocks. And I think, that loss against Fulham last week was surprising, and maybe Everton fans were starting to think, oh, it's time for a change. I don't know, but they got a good point at Old Trafford a couple of weeks ago. They've got a very good 3 points here tonight, and Ancelotti deserves the credit. Mark, what's your reason for not taking Allegri? He won the league with an exciting AC Milan side and 5 times in a row with Juve, scoring over 380 goals. I just don't rate him, Caden. I don't. It just doesn't excite. It's not that I don't rate him. He's a good coach, but I just don't think he would be a suitable coach for Manchester United. I'd be happy for Arsenal to get him, and I'd expect him to flop. So I just don't have a good feeling about Allegri. Klopp out maybe, says Adityo. Can we please have KG laughing at Liverpool on the United stand tonight, says Baloo. And all things considered, whose title defence was worse, Liverpool's this season or Chelsea's in 15-16, says Charlie Fox. I think we've all agreed that Man United's was worst under David Moyes. It's the worst of the lot. But this has been a really good day for United and potentially Leicester tomorrow, because if Leicester win tomorrow and United win tomorrow, those teams that are chasing us, the two dangerous teams, have dropped points today. Chelsea have dropped 2. Liverpool have dropped 3. So, it's been a really good day. But look, what's Liverpool's excuse? They did play Champions League football. He has been picking the same 11. Maybe they're a bit fatigued. Everton have had the week off. We'll see tomorrow what happens with the Europa League Thursday night teams. Leicester played Thursday. Spurs played Thursday. United played Thursday. Arsenal played Thursday. I think there will be some points dropped tomorrow, which is why it's so important for United to win. Liverpool equals Leicester 1 year after they won the Premier League, says the Hunch. And all things considered, I've done that one as well. And I am going to do a quick match reaction. But it's been a really good game, hasn't it? Really good game. Maybe not an entertaining game in relation to chances, but it's a big win for Everton, and they're level with Liverpool. Liverpool have not beaten Everton this season. A draw and a loss. I'm looking forward to having a drink after this. There is a United stand show tonight, by the way. It might not be 8 o'clock looking at the time. It's probably going to be 8:30. Might just do a little bit later show tonight on the United stand. But there will be an 8 o'clock, a 8:30 show. Or we'll see how it goes. But there is going to be one. Kieran says Calvert-Lewin ran into Trent's head. Mate, it doesn't really matter, does it? It's still 0. You've not scored. They've got 1 anyway. They've got, even if you argue about the penalty, where's the... That was a very early goal for Everton as well. They scored very early on. Where's the response from Liverpool? Where's the goal? how many of these games have they lost at Anfield? They've lost their last 4 games at Anfield, and I think they've only scored in the Man City game. Is it 1 in 4? It's not good enough, is it? It's not good enough. It's not good enough at all. And so many of their players seem to have lost their way as well. They've just had a terrible, terrible run, haven't they? Even going back to Southampton. And they've scored 1 goal in their last 6 Premier League games at Anfield. It's crazy. I'm going to have to tweet that. But, you know what? Klopp's had stuff going on in his private life, which is very sad in relation to his mother. Liverpool have had things before. The older Liverpool fans will tell you when Dalglish just decided it had enough, and it was a horrible day for Liverpool Football Club when that happened. And I don't think Klopp would do that, but you've always got to be wary of that. You've always got to be wary of that. You know, I can't imagine Liverpool fans would say Klopp out. I mean, even as a United fan, I would think that would be shameful of any Liverpool fan to do that. I really would. But you know, the modern day, you've got to start looking for reasons. But it would be stupidity. Good save by Pickford again. Probably man of the match. But yeah, I do think, you know, it'd be massively overreaction to start saying get rid of Klopp. He's won you a Champions League. He should have won you 2 titles, really. I mean, that one where you lost it to City by 1 point was just ridiculous. But, you know, City were just as good as you were. Last time Liverpool won at Anfield was the 16th of December, says Kevin Lopez. Mark, does football get put on hold if DV... I don't know what that is, Daniel Kirk. Oh, I don't know what's happened here. There's an Everton player who's really hurt themselves. Digne. Still got 3 minutes to be added on here. Why? What's that? Has the Duke of Edinburgh died? I'd hate that if that happened, because I'm watching The Crown and I actually quite like him in The Crown. Having stood in the Kop end, although the Anfield atmosphere is overrated, the fans make definitely a difference in these big games. I think United have felt that this season as well. I think Arsenal have felt it. You know, not having fans in the ground, it can be. You know, I think the one game that I look at from United was Sheffield United. That game, we would not have lost that game if we had had fans in the ground, because the fans would have demanded more. And I think when you look at Anfield, the Brighton and Burnley games, would they have lost those games with the crowd on their arse, you know, on the player's arse for 90 minutes? And that's the difference. Hi Mark, are you going to play games on Twitch? Yes, links in the video description for Twitch. Give us a follow on there. That's where I'll be doing that. I said I'd pop that in for people. So yeah, give us a follow if you are wanting me to watch. I'm going to do Football Manager on there first, so that's where it's going to start. Yeah, and probably going to be starting in the next sort of week or so. So give us a follow on Twitch. It's good for notifications on Twitch. It's much better than YouTube, which sends notifications out when it can be asked. The Goldbridge jinx has worked again, says Rishab. I did predict a 2-0 win for somebody, but it wasn't Everton. It was Liverpool. And I predicted that Chelsea would win 2-0 as well. So I need to have a think about what I'm going to predict next. Well, we're past the 5 minutes added on. Vota win. He's not done the full-time whistle yet. Please subscribe to this channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. What's going on here? I don't like it when my phone's vibrating. Everton on the attack. Oh, I thought that was in as well. Lovely shot by Sigurdsson. And he shoots it just wide. Phillips in hospital, I was just wondering, says Daniel Kirk. Yes. Well, he is 99 as well. Isn't he? 99 years of age. It's old. And the final whistle goes there. I can go and get some bloody dinner now. But it's a massive win for Everton. Let's not beat about the bush here. 4 losses in a row at home for Liverpool, and a big loss to take for Klopp and Liverpool again. It's not about title now. It's about top 4. Klopp ruled him out of a title race last week. How long before he's ruling him out of a top 4 race? And how long before Liverpool seriously have to worry about being in the Champions League next season? Massive loss. Do you rate Odsonne Edouard? Says Guitar. I don't really watch Scottish football enough, really. And Mark, when was the last time you watched a United game with your family? Says Pisco. Probably when I was at Centre Parks about 14 months ago. Yeah, that's the only time I get to watch United games, when I'm not doing it for United Stand. Anyway, I'm going to do a match reaction on here. I'll record it for you now. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Also, I'm going to set up United Stand, so that'll be live probably a little bit later tonight, 8:30. But thanks everyone for watching. We're probably going to do a watch along tomorrow. It'll either be Spurs, West Ham, or Leicester Villa. Thanks everyone for tuning in today. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoy these watch alongs where we're chatting away and interacting. And I'll speak to you all in a bit. Thanks for watching.